Community Broadcasting.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer as we have the Coach's Kage show, and I can't hear myself. All right, Billy, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Working through some technical difficulties here, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. We've got a great grouping of basketball coaches coming in tonight, and a special treat for you. We'll have, I'll call it a surprise treat coming in. Just be aware there's going to be some different sports represented too. But joining us first is South Newton girls coach Joe Keller. Joe, that season went fast, didn't it?
It did.
Oh my gosh!
It always seems like it's super long, and then it's right there, and it's over. So,
tell us a little bit about your sectional contest. How that ended up. Sectional time, no matter great season, bad season, it represents kind of a fresh start, but it's exciting no matter what.
It is, and our kids were excited for it, and you know we got two really good practices in at the start of the week, and then we hit snow and bumped everything back a day for the games, and you know I don't know that there was a team in our sectional who could practice for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so but you know our kids were excited. We had a couple good practices there on Monday, Tuesday, and then we played North White on Saturday, and we were pretty pumped up for the game. You know, we had played at North White back in the first part of January, and had a bad game just all around, missing some kids, and didn't play the way we wanted to, and so
North White's a tough outfit.
They are tough, but it's even tougher when you don't do the things that you in terms of playing with intensity and effort and that sort of stuff. So we were pretty frustrated with it, you know, a month ago, and so we said, you know, this is our chance to maybe redeem ourselves and at least go out there and play hard and see what happens. And so we went to North White on Saturday, and to be honest with you, the first 4 or 5 minutes of that game, it was a fun atmosphere. It was back and forth.
Did they have the band going?
They had the band going. It was a decent crowd for the early game, and you know, they hit a shot, then we'd match it, and they'd hit a shot, and we'd match it, and it was like that for the first few minutes, and then, you know, they took a little lead there, and then we started to turn the ball over a little bit. But, you know, we played much better than we did back in January. I thought we played pretty hard for most of the game, and, you know, when they shoot 70% from the field in the first half,
wow,
makes it really tough.
Yeah.
And part of that was defensively. We were late on rotations because they're quicker than we are, and we were just late getting there. But part of it is, you know, even when you late on a rotation, somebody has to hit a shot, you know, and they did. They seemed like every long jumper they took went in, and when they didn't hit something, you know, a long rebound right to them. And so, but we battled, and like I said, we played better than we had early in January, and we didn't quit, and we saw some good things from some kids. So.
What about I still can't. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Can't hear myself, but anyway. About the season, what do you
That's
think
probably
of?
ideal.
I was going to say your wife might pay extra for that
there you
service.
go. Okay.
You know, we had an interesting group this year because we had 12 kids in the program this year. 6 of those were seniors, 6 underclassmen. We struggled with some injury stuff and had a couple bouts of COVID that we had to battle through. But every single one of our kids played varsity minutes this year. Most of those kids played significant varsity minutes, and we had to count on them to do things. So, you know, we always tell the girls this group of kids haven't been the most successful group of kids in terms of wins and losses on the court. They got to see their first year. Some of them played varsity small minutes for that team we had with the Embry girls and Haley Warren and Jamie Deedham and Liz Garin, who were seniors. And, you know, we won 16 of our 23 games or whatever. So they were around for that, but then it's been a tough sledding since then. But through all of that, all of those kids, just they're just awesome people. They're fun to be around. They're good kids. They're going to do great things outside of sports.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we talked with them about. And when you are that type of person, when you are a good person, good things happen eventually. It might not happen in basketball, but your life, your career type stuff is going to be good.
Sure.
So we reiterated to them, we really appreciated them as people and the work they put in. And then, we've got some younger kids who are going to have to get better if they want to be successful, and they're going to have to put a lot of work in, and some of that work hasn't been happening on their own. So they're going to have to do that. That first year for these kids, they had the pandemic excuse where we couldn't get into the gym and we couldn't meet together, but everybody else found a way to get better, and they're going to have to get over that and put in the time. So
how do you handle the end of the season? Do you talk to the girls individually as a group? How does that work?
I think it depends on the year and the kids. There's been years where we've gone through a big exit interview process and that sort of stuff, but sometimes, when you have a bigger group, you need to do that, I think, because you might not know every kid very well, or you might not have a whole lot of time with every kid, but we're such a small group that, we see each other every day, and we get to talk with them every day. So, they transitioned from, we played Saturday, they had softball open practice on Monday.
Wow.
And track starts this week or next week. So our kids, it's not like there's a whole lot of time for us to meet together anyways, and school schedule wise, there's no time during the day for me to meet with them or anything like that. So we'll get together as a group when we do our awards, and we'll talk individually when we need to, but for most of those kids, we get a pretty good idea of where they're at throughout the season because we are such a small group. So,
what are some of the things that the girls need to do to get better during the off season here?
The number one thing, and most coaches will probably tell you, is that shooters are made in the off season. It's really hard to become a really good shooter in the season. You can maintain and you can do that, but you've got to put in the time in the off season to get better. And if you're not very good at it right now, you've got to work twice as hard and put in twice as much time and get up twice as many shots to make those increases. That's the big thing. When you're given an opportunity to get better at a skill, you need to do that. So a lot of our kids need to shoot. They need to get in there. They need to handle the ball. We had 5 or 6 turnovers against North White where balls hit kids right in the hands, right at the chest, and the ball went backwards or sideways and led to a layup for North White. So, those things are things you have to work on. You have to get better. We have to figure out if it's a strength thing or if it's a coordination thing, and we have to work on those things. And so that's the number one thing. Our kids actually did a really good job this year in the weight room. We spent probably an hour split between 2 days a week in the weight room trying to get stronger and at least maintain strength throughout the season. And so they're going to have to build strength in the off season. You're going to have to build skills in the off season, and hopefully we can get enough kids to play some meaningful scrimmages in the summer. But we just, numbers wise, I don't know if we'll have that. So
Do girls typically embrace weight training as much as you would see a team of guys?
I'll tell you what, every situation's different, but if you talk with kids like the North White kids, they're in the weight room and they embrace it. Our girls, for the most part, over the last 4 years, have been much better about being in the weight room than our boys have at South Newton.
Really?
And I think you could see that on the football field, and you could see that on the basketball court at times. Individual coaches have been trying to get kids in there, and our basketball team tried to lift and whatever. But a lot of times in the summer, no kidding, we'd have open weight room in the morning, and Coach Robbins and I are usually the ones running it in the morning, and we'd have 15 to 20 girls in there and 1 or 2 boys.
Wow.
And then sometimes, Coach Beavis is trying to get those kids in for football lifting, but, before this year, he didn't have much success with that. It's starting to change a little bit. We're starting to get some kids that are buying into the weight room and doing some of that stuff for the boys especially. And we've got a good group of girls who work out in their off-season stuff. But, it really, as a group, it hasn't been hard to get the girls to work out. Certain individuals, sometimes it's hard to get them motivated. But our kids do a pretty good job of working out in the weight room. And now that we have a first hour class where they can do some weight room stuff, Coach Beavis teaches that, and I think he's done a wonderful job over the last year and a half of teaching that class in our schedule. You're starting to see some benefits of that with some kids and get them excited about doing that on their own too.
Let's talk about the future of South Newton girls basketball.
I don't know where we're going to go. We're losing 6 kids of our 12. We're going to bring back 6 hopefully.
Are the numbers going to get a bit better, you hope?
I don't know.
You don't know. Who knows, right?
Who knows? We were just talking over at the table there that I think we had 12 7th graders last year play middle school basketball. This year there's 3 or 4 that are 8th graders that are playing, so we lost a bunch of kids. And some of those are move-aways. Some of those are kids who decided they were going to enjoy life instead of do anything this year as 8th graders. And some of those kids are just not doing anything, So hopefully there's some more kids that are playing. There's a couple quality kids in there that can help out skill-wise, and they're all good workers, the group they have down there.
That's kind of a trend everywhere, though, isn't it?
It has been. You talk to most kids, or most coaches, the kids are different from 30 years ago. And I grew up in Watsika, and you had 30 boys every year as freshmen come out to play football, which was 60% of your graduating class, and you'd have 100 kids in the program, and they didn't have 25 kids in the whole program this year in Watsika, and that's a school that's, the same, a little bit bigger than we are. We've struggled to get kids out in different sports. We're kind of spread thin. We've got 25 girls playing winter sports, but they're spread between wrestling and basketball and swimming. So, we're kind of spread thin there, and hopefully we'll get some more kids out. But it's a different dynamic. There's a lot more stuff for kids to do these days,
Sure is, yeah.
and sometimes in our environment, it's not as easy to keep them. And you look at Laura with the volleyball team. She started 4 years ago, I think, with 8 freshman players, and this year she had 1 senior. They leave for different reasons, and sometimes those are good reasons or valid reasons, and sometimes they're kind of, as a teacher and as a coach, you're kind of like,
Head scratchers.
yeah, that's not a wise decision or a valid reason. But I hope we get some more. We've got a big group of 7th graders this year, and they've had a little bit of success in the short part of the season they've had so far. But they got to keep playing and get better.
Do they play combined middle school, or
So-
is there a 7th grade alone and 8th grade, or?
We have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team, but I don't know that we have enough kids. I think technically we have 5 or 6 kids that are 8th graders that are playing, but I don't know that they've had more than 4 at a practice or a game for most of the season. So they're already pulling 7th graders up to help out in that. So, but usually we try to play an 8th grade schedule and a 7th grade schedule. Last year we did that with
Some schools don't, though, right?
No, we played BC last week on Tuesday, and they didn't have an 8th grade team.
Benton Central, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had a 7th grade team, and they had probably 12 to 15 kids on the 7th grade team, but not enough 8th graders for a team, and so they didn't play. We didn't play our 8th graders against them, and that happens. Usually not at a school the size of BC,
Right.
But you're starting to see more of that. So numbers all around are just dropping. We talked early in the year with Seeger's coach, and he said he's having trouble, and they've been very, very successful over the last 4 or 5 years since he returned as the head coach, and they're struggling to get more than 10 kids out in a season.
You need to get that JV program back going,
Yeah,
right?
we had a little bit of luck last year. We got to play a little bit more JV, and then 3 years ago we had quite a few, but we've been hit hard. When you only have 12 to 14 kids, it's a numbers game with the quarters. If we were in a different state, we could make it work. Donovan came over to play our boys game last night, and they had 9 kids, and they played a full JV and a full varsity. We couldn't physically do that. We're not allowed to do that. We have a 5 quarter a night limit.
And they don't over there.
And they don't. They don't have. They
you
have
play as much as you want.
You can play as much as you want. There's a season limit. So, but it's really hard to hit the season limit. You almost have to play 8 quarters a night to hit the season limit. I used to coach over there, and it was like 6.5 quarters a night is what the limit worked out to.
Wow.
So it was, it's a different environment for them, but we can't do that. So you start canceling those things, and then it just makes it tough. So.
Last time we talked with you, I want to give you a chance to say things, whatever you need to say. Go right ahead.
Thank you guys, first of all, for broadcasting the games and hosting us over here. It's always fun to come talk with you, and our kids appreciate seeing themselves on the TV. But thank you guys, and thanks to all our coaches and AD and principal and superintendent that put in all the hours they do and allow us to do that, and the players who do show up and the parents who support them. And when you've got 12 kids in a program, the parents are always there. They're the ones who have to foot the bill for the team meals. They're the ones who have to get kids to and from places a lot of times. So, it's really important to have that support, and we've had pretty good support from those people. So thanks to all those people out there that do help us out with that. So,
Joe, I appreciate you coming over each week and chatting with us, and you're always a pleasure to talk to and a fountain of information, that's for sure, no doubt about anything. So
a little bit about a lot, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Especially in our business, we're trying to do here.
Trying to start out here.
Joe's been an expert,
like a mentor.
Exactly.
I dabble in some things.
I wish we could hire you.
Oh, well.
you're too expensive for us, I
think. Joe, have a good off season and enjoy yourself, and we'll see you next year. Okay?
Thanks. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks,
Joe Keller, South Newton Lady Rebel coach, back with more of the Coach's Cage program on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
The Conrad Agency in Fowler and Brook. Call 765-884-0530.
Back on the Coach's Cage. Bob Kurtz, Bill Cave, Scotty Miller, Jeff Gastineau, and Mark Grettencourt from Tri-County Cavaliers have joined us now. It's been a while, and we've had the snowed out. Even our coaches show got snowed out last week.
Coaches show.
That's unheard of. But Mark, good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
You, I don't care where you start. Just start talking about games.
Well,
go from there.
We we played South Newton. Looks like back on January 28th over at South Newton. You guys covered us there. We didn't get off to a particularly good start. South Newton jumped out to a 10-6 lead in the first quarter, and then they just kind of kept their momentum. And we kept it 8 to 10 points the rest of the way, but we just couldn't get stops when we needed to. The defensive pressure for us was not very good all night, and it really showed when we watched film the next day. And South Newton was able to come up with that win, 53-38. We let kind of Cy Salmons get going there in that second half, and we did a good job on him in the first half. He only had 3 points in the first half, and then finished with 17 more, 20 for the game. So, they've got a nice team with him and Cruz and the smart kid. They all contributed, in double figures for them, and we didn't get anyone in double figures that night. We had 3 guys with 9, Kobe Baylor, Logan Doty, and Nate Corbin, but couldn't scratch anyone into double figures for us that night.
You were playing, I remember that game, a lot of underclassmen at one time, right?
Yeah, we do have a lot of underclassmen we're playing. We're playing basically 2 seniors that get most of the playing time. We've got a third one that gets some, and then we've got a junior, Nate Corbin, 3 sophomores, and Kobe Baylor, Eric Zarzi, and Connor Ross, and then freshman Riley Hughes. So we got a lot of guys that are young that get some good playing time. But, yeah, we are kind of led, though, by our seniors and Logan Doty, Corbin Lawson, and Lane Cochran. But, yeah, we do play a lot of young guys right now.
Okay, what's next?
Well, after that game, I was really frustrated with the way that we had played, and so that next day at practice, we had a Saturday morning practice, and we watched film for like an hour and 30 minutes, and we just got through the first half, and that's all we got through. and I think it was very eye-opening for our kids. And
a lot of hit rewind, huh?
Yes, rewind, talk, yes. And, I gave all our kids Q-tips before the actual film session, and it stands for quit taking it personal. So just to give them a heads up, it was going to be a rough film session, and I think they took it in stride. And they had some paper that they had to write down some things of what they saw and how they could improve and what their focus was going to be for this next week of practice to get better. And
video doesn't lie, does it?
It does not. And I told them my focus was going to be on defense. And we after that film session, they went to get out the basketballs, and I said, we don't need basketballs, guys. and so we got on the line, and we did a little bit of conditioning just to get ourselves in better shape. And, then we were able to practice on Monday and Tuesday trying to get ready for North Newton, knowing that there was a chance with what the weather was forecasted that would be postponed. But
right.
So we were able to practice Monday and Tuesday. Again, our focus was on defense, and then we had those 3 days off of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no practice, which, our team's used to getting shut down and not practicing for a while. So
okay, so now we're going to live stream the North Newton Tri-County game. When is that now?
That is now Tuesday, February 22nd.
Okay.
So that's
we'll
Tuesday,
be there
February 22nd. So
make sure I got that correct.
You got to write it down.
Well, it's changed too many times.
Yes, it has.
February 20th. See, stretched out.
He's got it.
All right. He's right on it.
Yeah. So, again, we were focusing on our defense. And, again, Saturday then and Monday when we came back after that storm that, again, our focus was on defense and trying to get ready for Frontier now, which we played last night, which was our homecoming, because this game had been postponed and moved when we got shut down before.
Wow,
so
homecoming on Tuesday night.
Homecoming on a Tuesday night. So, that's what we were doing. And, Frontier had, I think, 3 wins coming in, so very similar to what we are. And
I thought it was a misprint on the score.
You thought it was misprint?
When I saw it on John Harrell,
right.
That can't be right.
Yeah, you were asking if it was a halftime score, right?
I did.
When have you noticed the score 30 at half, though?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
But, no, again, last night we played Frontier, and, they've got a couple real nice players on their team, and we knew that going in, watching some film, and I actually went and watched them play Delphi the Saturday before, right after the South Newton game, so I got to go watch them play Delphi and got to pick up on some things. And we knew that they've got the Hoover kid. He's a junior, real nice player, about 6'2", guard. I mean, real nice player. And he got going early in the game. And, they jumped out to a nice 17-5 lead on us in the first quarter. So
Frontier had 17 points in the first quarter.
17 in the first quarter. They made 8 field goals in the first quarter. They made 3 field goals the rest of the game. So well, we can talk about that later. So,
oh, my.
Yeah. So they had 8 field goals in the first quarter, one of them being a 3 at the buzzer by Hoover to put them up 17-5. And so,
I bet you were steaming a little bit then, too.
Well, yes. And, and part of it was in that first quarter we missed some easy shots, some what I would consider easy, nice little layup shots that we should be hitting and making. And free throws, again, weren't our friend either in that quarter. I think we started off 0 for 3, 0 for 4 in that quarter from the free throw line. So
teach them how to shoot free throws.
I know. I should. We should try to do that.
Go back to your old days, glory days.
That's right. So 17-5 after 1, and I told the kids then, hey, we've just missed some shots. That's what it is right now. We got to play better defense, obviously, but we've missed some shots, and hopefully things can turn around. And we played better in the second quarter. The halftime score was 23-18. We were down 19-7 at one point, but then we started coming back, playing better defense. 23 to 18 at the half. So we talked at halftime. Hey, we're in this now, okay? It's within reach. And third quarter, we got it to 27-25. So we were only down 2 to start the fourth quarter. They made, I think, 1 field goal that quarter and then 2 free throws. Wow. So that was their 4 points that quarter. And then in the fourth quarter,
you pitched a shutout.
We did. We pitched a That's the second time this year we've pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter of a game. So that doesn't happen very often. You don't to do it once, and then we've done it twice this year.
Did you win both games?
We have won both games. So
there you go.
That's the key to success.
That's right.
Shut teams out in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
But we did a box and one on the Hoover kid, and Kobe Baylor was our guy on him and did a real nice job on him. He's got some good length, and then but our supporting cast, the other 4 guys did a great job as well. When Hoover would maybe get open a little bit, they were there to stop him. And then when they'd get the ball inside to number 22, the Schroeder kid, we were doubling and tripling him, making him get it out. And we were going to make the other guys make shots. And fortunate for us that they weren't able to do that. And we still like to make it interesting. We were up 29-27 with I think a minute to go, and I think we turned it over 2 times in the last minute, and we also did not shoot very well from the foul line in the fourth quarter. I think it looks like we were about 1 for 4 in the fourth quarter and from the free throw line, and we were 7 of 17 from the game. So, again, a lot of things we can do better, but it's nice to get that win. It's a conference win. It's a sectional opponent. So all those things like that, and our kids really gutted it out and grinded it out. To win a game, like you said, 30-27. I mean, every possession counts in that game. So because there's not a lot of possessions that matter. And we played some of our best offensive ball when it comes to turnovers. We only had 8 turnovers. So
your shooting percentage must not have been very much.
No, we were. Yeah, we just won't talk about that one. But it wasn't great, but it was better than Frontiers. So that's what matters.
What'd you say after the game?
Well, again, I talked to the kids about how proud I was of them. First of all, in their defensive effort, because that's what we had been preaching all along since that South Newton game was, what can we do better? And it was our defense. We can do that a lot better, especially if we're going to struggle scoring at times. We've got to play better defense, and I was really proud of the kids for doing that. But we also talked about the shots that we didn't score in the first quarter and the missed opportunities from the free throw line, of how that game could have been a lot different too, and what we could have done better, and maybe not had that close of a game. But it's nice for our kids to be in close games like that, because you hope that when you have close games like this down the stretch here, where we think we've got some winnable games, that when we're in that situation again, that we can handle the pressure and be able to knock some free throws down, hopefully, like we did when we played Seeger and had to do that when we won that game.
When you're struggling as a team, free throw wise, is there a go-to drill that coach? I mean, is it just shoot? Is that it? Well, you come in the next day and just shoot, or
I wish I knew. I do. I don't know. And free throw and shooting, like anything, it's like muscle memory. It's the same thing. Repetition.
Underhand.
We're not going the underhand route just yet. No, we
Rick
may
Barry.
have to.
Rick Barry. That's all I gotta say.
I know, but it's repetition. It's feeling comfortable. It's confidence. It's all of those things that you have to get up there. And we try to put our kids in pressure situations in practice, like I'm sure a lot of coaches do, where they have to run if they miss.
If you
right.
miss.
Yes. So we try to do that, and we do some drill where we call it streaks, where they get to keep shooting until they miss, and there may be a reward if they can hit 25 in a row or things like that. I've only got one I had to give out so far this year, but that's okay. That's what we're trying to do, and there's different. Sometimes we make them run and then shoot free throws after when they're tired. So there's different things that we try to do to make them feel comfortable up there. But again, it's just confidence, going up there, knowing, hey, I'm going to make this, and then it's the muscle memory and the repetition from shooting.
Still got a busy week here, don't you?
We do. We still play tomorrow and Friday, and fortunate for us, when we have a week like this, it's all home. So that's the nice thing for us. We don't have to travel. So we are home tomorrow versus Covenant Christian. So out of DeMont. So we've got them starting at 6 o'clock our time. And then we have senior night on Friday versus Benton Central. So, and that's a JV start of 6:30, I believe, our time, gentlemen.
6:30,
so
okay.
5:30 Central. So.
Okay. So tell us about the upcoming games here.
Well, we've been really focused on Frontier, so that's kind of been our focus. But we talked to the kids today about Covenant Christian, and they got a win again last night versus I think like a Heritage Christian school or something, 57-50. So they've got a kid inside, the Miller kid, who averages about 17 a game, and they got another kid that averages about 10. So those are going to be kind of our keys on them. They like to play a little 1-3-1 half-court trap at times. They play a lot of 2-3, a lot of 3-2. So they play a lot of zone. So we were able to work on a lot of that stuff today. And then, Benton Central's,
they're improved.
They are. They've had a good year so far, and a new coach this year. So different things that he's thrown in there, and I know they've got. I think it's the Buchanan kid that's a real nice scorer, I believe. So we'll have our work cut out with playing them on Friday night as well.
We'll be there for that and see you then, okay?
Yeah, and then we have North White then the following Tuesday, which will be a nice one for us to be tested right before sectional time.
A lot of Midwest Conference games, right?
We got to play a lot of Midwest Conference games here at the end. So.
What is your record in the conference right now?
Right now we're 1-2. So we were able to get that win last night to give us our first conference win. Yeah, so it's a big one. So we have North White, North Newton left in the conference.
I forgot the JV. How are we doing on those?
JV, they lost the last couple games. But I've kind of been taking, kind of some of Coach Harrington's players here lately. So, the life as a JV coach, I've been there. I know what that's like. And so, it's just always changing. And we've had a JV kid injured. And so it's taken away a lot of his rotation of what he was used to having. So it's changing for him. But, again, he does a great job. And, I'll say my coaching staff, I thought last night did a great job. I told them before the varsity game, hey, with us not having a lot of practice and conditioning, I want to sub early and I want to sub often. And they were up to me a lot during the game saying, hey, do you want to get this person in? I said, do it. I was just giving them almost the free reins of subbing for me last night.
Do you have a certain time when each one goes in or no?
No, not really. And we had Corbin Lawson last night who didn't play in the South Newton game because of an ankle injury, and he was back and playing, and, his conditioning I don't think is quite where it needs to be.
Well,
so
good he's back playing.
It's great that he's back playing, and so we were able to add him back, add Riley Hughes, full-time varsity, the freshman. So my coaching staff was doing a great job saying, hey, let's get this person in, let's get this person in. And yes.
I see how you do. You get all your players healthy again, then you reschedule the games there.
You've got us figured out, right?
I knew it.
Right, yep. So, but, yeah, Coach Andrea Grettencourt and Coach Ryan Harrington were both doing that. And then, Riley Ewan, he's been a godsend for me. He's been doing a lot of the scouting and doing scouting reports on these teams, and he's doing a great job there too. So my coaching staff is awesome, and Coach Chad Burns, he's not with us this week, but he went with me to watch the Frontier and Delphi game last week. So I've got a great coaching staff. I couldn't be more blessed with what I've got.
How's the middle school program going?
It's done right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and our sixth grade finished, I think, a couple games above 500, as did our eighth grade, and our seventh grade was about 500 or just maybe a little under. But they're very competitive. I know eighth grade won their last game versus Rensselaer, so that's always a big win for our junior high.
It seems like you've had a good feeder system going where you at least have one major contributor from the freshman class for years, kind of building on that now.
It is, and you'd like to get 4 or 5 kids from each grade if you can, because that gives you 16 to 20. I mean, that's not great, but you'd like to have that much. Usually, you get more as freshmen, and then they start tailing off after that. But yeah, we've been very fortunate. Like you said, right now, with our young group, we've got 3 sophomores playing some varsity right now. So that's been very helpful for us. And
you got any middle schoolers you got your eye on there?
There's
come up next year?
There's quite a few. Yeah, there's some good kids. I don't know yet how varsity ready they'll be, but I know that they would be able to contribute at the JV level next week or next year, and they just got to get physical. That's the difference a lot of times is that physicalness between the junior high to to freshmen or to JV, and then even varsity, it's even more physical. And, we've done a lot more weightlifting this year than we've done in the past to try to get us to be a little bit more physical of a team.
Mark, thanks for coming over. I appreciate it. We'll see you Friday night.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you,
All right.
Coach.
Mark Grettencourt, Tri-County Cavaliers, back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
For compassionate veterinary care, you can count on Rensselaer Pet Care. Dr. Jan Mallory and Dr. Nick Mallory are now seeing patients at their new facility located at 1370 St. Gaspar Drive North in Rensselaer behind Walmart. We treat your pet like a member of the family. From wellness exams and vaccines to complex surgical procedures, your dog or cat will receive high-quality care at our hospital. Boarding is also available. For more information or to check hours of operation, contact Rensselaer Pet Care at 219-866-4671.
Bob Kurtz and Bill Kay back with you on the Coach's Cage program, live from Arnie's. It's National Pizza Day.
National Pizza Day.
How about that? And these guys devoured some of that over there.
That's a good thing. So. Yeah.
Hey, it's wrestling. First time in to talk with us, Hunter Hickman, the Rensselaer Central wrestling coach. Hunter, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You gotta be successful to get on the 3K.
Oh, yeah, sure you do. What a year you guys have had. You gave a whole list of accomplishments here, but I'm going to let you talk about it. Some of the things you've accomplished this year.
Yeah, had a really good year. Wrestled a lot of matches, which was really important for us, especially after last year where our season got shortened quite a bit because of COVID. We had about a 3 or 4 week period last year where we didn't get to really wrestle at all. We had a couple cases on our team, and it shut us down for a while, and by the time we got all our practices picked up, a lot of these guys only wrestled about 20 times last year, and typically in a season you wrestle 35 to 40 times, and we've got a lot of guys now that have wrestled 40, 45 matches already this year. And but yeah, we've had a lot of success this year. Won our 5th straight sectional here 2 weeks ago, and we're able to go and win our first ever regional title as a school this past weekend. We defeated Harrison by 7 points. Harrison had won 9 straight regionals going into Saturday, and it's a really big deal for us. It was something that we've talked about for a few years now as a program. A lot of these guys that are on the team right now have wrestled since they were really little, and it's just been something that's been building here for a few years, and finally sort of came together on Saturday, and we were able to accomplish something pretty special.
How do you, pardon my ignorance with the wrestling, how wrestling is scored, but did you guys know you were going to win the championship, or did it come down to the final few matches, or how did that work?
Yeah, so it's not like basketball where you can like track a scoreboard in the actual gym, but we've got a little we got like access to brackets and stuff on our phones through a website called Track Wrestling. They do all the brackets through the state tournament series, so you can follow the team score all day on there. So we knew where we stood every round, every match, and especially as it got towards the end of the tournament where we started getting through the last few matches where we knew we were running out of opportunities to score points. We knew it was going to be really close. So actually going into our last match of the day was our 220-pounder Jordan Cree, and we were up 1 point going into that match, and they had one guy left as well to be able to score some points. And so the way it works in the finals, if you win a match that round, you score 4 points for your team, and then like if you were to get a pin, you score an extra 2 points. So he was able to get a pin that round and put it out of reach, so no matter what Harrison did that last match, they couldn't win. So that was pretty cool that like we were able to win the match, and that was the one that kind of sealed the deal for us, rather than like trying to hope Harrison would lose a match and that would give us the win. So our boys were all right there on the mat, knowing kind of what was at stake and how we could score points, and it was pretty special when he came off the mat, and everyone was kind of there to welcome him, and we were all able to kind of celebrate together there for about 2 or 3 minutes and know that we just did something that had never been done before at Rensselaer. So it's cool.
I know you've got a spokesman here, but introduce all the guys that are with you tonight.
Yeah, I brought my 4 seniors here with us. I've got Brody Arnett. He's a longtime wrestler for us, wrestled with our club, 4-year wrestler for us. We've got Andrew Ball. Andrew actually joined us this year. He spent the first 3 years of high school over at North White. His family moved over to Rensselaer this year, and so he joined us, and he'll be competing at the semi-state this weekend at 170 pounds for us. He placed 4th at the regional last week. I've got Ryan Cruz back here. Ryan, also a longtime wrestler for us, grew up in our club, 4-year varsity starter for us, 3-time regional qualifier. Wasn't able to qualify for the semi-state this year, but really, really important part to our team this year. Has really grown into a leadership role for us, and really stepped up in a big way. Went over 30 matches this year, right? Yeah, 31 matches for us this
exactly,
year.
Didn't he?
Yeah, they know. Oh, they know. Yeah, they keep track of their wins. But yeah, one of our several guys that won over 30 matches this year, and really improved a lot this year. And then we've got Lakin Webb here. Again, a kid that grew up in our club, 4-year starter for us, 3-time sectional champ, 3-time regional champ, state qualifier for us last year. Hoping to make it a 2-time state qualifier this weekend at the semi-state. So,
well, Lakin Weiss, Bill, remember talking to him in that July afternoon out at the football field.
Hot afternoon, yeah, indeed.
Lakin, how you doing? When we talked to you last, you weren't too healthy, were you?
No, I wasn't. I actually had a broken vertebrae in my back.
Had it healed up. Just in time for wrestling.
Yeah, just in time. Yeah.
Tell us about your year.
Started off a little bumpy, trying to get back into things, but
because you probably weren't in wrestling shape back in.
Not exactly, no. But found once came tournament time, kicked it into gear, and got business done.
What made you? How long you been wrestling? What made you get into wrestling?
It's been the majority of my life, but.
How'd you start?
Really, probably him. He started it for our family because he's obviously my older cousin, and my brother wrestled, his brother wrestled. It's just been a part of our family for a long time now.
Hunter, you said a lot of these guys started out in the club. What is the club? How young did these guys start? Tell us a little bit about
so our club really started probably about, 7 or 8 years ago. You guys might be able to correct me on this, but Coach Oliver runs, Coach James Oliver, he's a state qualifier for our program back in '98. Actually placed 6th in the state. And what's that? I think so. My bad. Placed 6th in the state for us, but he was the head coach before I was, and really revamped our club. And what that is kind of like with the football program and the basketball program, where they have like their youth, Rensselaer Basketball League or like our flag football league. it's kind of like that. It's just kind of our feeder program for the wrestling program. And though they don't really travel, I mean, they do travel around to like different tournaments throughout the winter. It's not so much like a local thing where like they have different teams that play each other in just Rensselaer, but it's more like your we used to call it blue chip at basketball. I think they go down to Legacy now and play games and stuff. It's kind of like that. And Coach Oliver actually took the club to a building downtown called Train Elite, and has been running the club there and does a really good job with all of our kids. And so these guys have all wrestled in our club, both in the winter, in the spring, summer. And these guys can tell you wrestling is one of those things that if you only do it 3 months out of the year during wrestling season, you're probably not going to be real successful. It's something that you've got to put a lot of time into outside the season and get on the mat and learn positions and stuff. So these guys have all done that, and that's why we've had a lot of team success here the last few years.
What makes a good wrestler?
Well, that's a good question. Hard work and yeah, you just got to put in the hours, and it comes with athletic ability, but also with technical and knowledge of the sport.
What's it like? You had a lot of success in the tournament here the last couple of years. What's your strength? Well, let's go with that. What's the strong point of you wrestling?
I think I just find a way to turn it on when I need to. When come time sectional, it's when I'm wrestling my best.
Mental, physical, both. Both. Answer that.
Both equally as important.
Equally as important, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't just overpower a guy when you're on the mat.
Nah, I mean you see guys, especially at the semi-state and state level, that maybe have all the talent in the world, but you get into a stressful situation where it's not like any other sport where like you've got teammates there to sort of bail you out at times. It's you and one other person, and let the best man win. So those situations where you've got thousands of fans sitting there watching, screaming their head off in that little 6-minute match, it can be really, really stressful, really, really intense. And if you're not mentally prepared to go through that, you'll be exposed.
I talk with your brother a lot, and he says you got to have a little swagger to you. Got to have a little cockiness, right? A little Ric Flair, right?
For sure.
Is that you got to have this? Does confidence help out a lot, or no?
Absolutely. I think if you, on Friday nights, you can watch Big Ten Wrestling on the Big Ten Network, and they'll do a lot of interviews those nights. And the one team I can think of that really exemplifies that confidence is Iowa. And Iowa is notorious for their wrestling program, been really, really strong for a long time. And, if you're not a wrestling person and you listen to an interview with those guys, it can come across pretty arrogant. Those guys are pretty confident in themselves, but they train really, really hard. And I think you have to have that edge to you, because if you don't believe that you're better than the guy you're about to wrestle, again, you're probably going to get exposed, and that's going to be a really big disadvantage, especially in a stressful situation like a semi-state or state-level match or at the college level, where you've got thousands of fans screaming there and there's a lot on the line.
I want to get both of your comments about practice. What's a wrestling practice involved from from the wrestler's perspective? Is it hard, easy? You wrestle against other guys?
It's definitely not easy, that's for sure. But we start out with a lot of high-paced stuff, and we in the middle of practice we take a break and do technique, and then we finish with another high pace of live goes, just wrestling like pretty much a match with our partners.
Yeah, I think our season has different phases to it. So I think at the beginning of the year, it's trying to build their conditioning and being able to wrestle a 6-minute match was a really, really tough thing to do. But also implementing technique, it's kind of a challenge because you have guys, like these guys that have wrestled for a long time, and you're trying to push them and make them better. At the same time, you're trying to take kids that have never been on the mat before and trying to improve them at the same rate at the same time. So because everyone has their own individual needs, you have to be kind of creative at times to figure out how to do that the best. But we try to split our season up into different phases, and towards the beginning of the year, it's a little bit longer practices where it's a lot of technique, a lot of teaching. Towards the end of the year, it's more about reps, kind of fine-tuning what we know, and getting them to peak at the right time to where they can make the deepest run in the state tournament as possible.
We're talking with Bomber coach Hunter Hickman and Lakin Webb. wrestling's another sport where weight is a problem, right? Can be a problem.
Sure.
How do you have certain, how many weight classes, and how do you handle the weight situation with everybody?
Yep, so we have 14 weight classes, and at the beginning of the year we sort of assess where they're all at, and we actually have to do what's called a certification where the kids have to come in and measure their body fat percentage. They have to take a hydration test, and it tells them what weight class they're allowed to go to.
What do they start at? What do they start at? What's the lowest?
106. So 106, and the heaviest is the highest limit is 285.
You have trouble filling all the weight classes?
We can at times. Sometimes we got to be a little creative with how we fill them. Sometimes guys got to
run and lose weight.
Well,
no.
More times than not, it's a guy trying to bump up to fill a weight class for us. That's usually the biggest problem.
I see.
And usually it's the higher weights. To be honest with you, we have a lot of trouble. We just don't have a lot of big kids walking around our school right now, and so trying to fill those heavier weights can be a challenge at times. But
and you weigh in each match?
Yep, you weigh in about an hour before each day that you wrestle. So like a tournament, you might wrestle 5 times, but you only weigh in 1 time.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we try to preach to our kids to have a good diet and be disciplined and only put good things in their body, whether losing a little bit of weight or not. We don't really.
You probably can tell if they don't, right?
Oh yeah, you can tell. I mean, when they go on the mat and they haven't been putting good stuff in their body, and they've been, I always pick on one of our coaches when he was a high schooler. His name's Colin Stanley. He showed up and one day ate monkey bread before he went out on the mat, and you could tell that day that he ate monkey bread. And so we've made the Colin Stanley rule of things you're allowed to eat after weigh-ins and what you're not allowed to eat. So I always pick on him for that. He's one of our assistants, helps out. His little brother's on the team, won a regional this past weekend for himself. But yeah, we just try to educate, and we really don't have too many guys this year that are really like losing or cutting weight or anything. They've all sort of fallen into place and done a really good job of buying into having a good diet and taking care of themselves.
Now that's something that they can take away from that career of wrestling, isn't it? Nutrition, your physical.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, you're not going to be a wrestler for the rest of your life.
Yeah, more likely than not.
Yeah, there might be a few. You never know.
Probably not, but yeah, I mean, I think it's just discipline, able to fight through adversity, and when things get thrown at you that are unexpected, I think wrestling prepares you to sort of fight through that, and more so than any other sport. And I grew up in a sports-oriented family and played everything from soccer to football, basketball, wrestling. I think wrestling offers that more than anything. And I think it's one of those sports that it takes a special person to be a wrestler. I think it's really, really hard at times, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's super rewarding. Nothing was more rewarding than winning that regional with that group of kids on Saturday, just because it's a lot of kids that may not be the best athletes in the world, but they've bought into coaching. They've bought into the idea that they can accomplish something bigger than themselves. They've been selfless, and nothing better than showing up and accomplish something that special and big.
Tell us your feeling about when you won the championship Saturday.
Oh, it was something for sure. Definitely a team effort. It wasn't individual at all, and everyone stepped in and did their part, and it was amazing. That's the best feeling in the world.
You get the fire truck?
We did, yeah.
Parade through town, did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Luckily, we've got Chief Anderson on our staff. He's been an assistant since I think I asked him the other day. I think since 1995.
Oh,
something like that. So he's been there a long time, but yeah, he had some hookups for us.
There you go.
So yeah,
you deserve it. That's for sure.
Well, what was it like gathering around that final match and seeing your teammate out there?
Again, I don't even know how to describe it. The feeling when he won that match, everyone was just going crazy. Coach actually had to tell us to get off the mat so we didn't give up a team point. But no, it was insane, and it was a great experience.
Did you think you could do it going in? Do you have confidence that you could win and knock off Harrison?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we have obviously had some things go our way. I mean, in any sport, you've got to have a little bit of luck involved, and you got to have some things go your way, because obviously nothing's going to go just as planned. So we had some help from some other teams, but we knew it was possible. And like I said, we only won by 7 points. So if we lose, 2 matches, two matches that we didn't lose that we won. At any point during the day, we don't win. And so that's why we say every match was super important. It was a total team effort. Even guys that were wrestling for third and fourth that were able to pull out wins for third, and we had a couple of really close ones. Those were really, really important to us too. And so, wrestling is an individual sport, but we try to preach team all the time. And the winning that sectional, winning the regional especially, was a total team effort.
I want both your guys' opinion now on a semi-state. When is it? Where is it? And what do you think?
Yep, so Saturday morning, 9 a.m. at East Chicago Central High School. Real big gym, be a ton of people there. We had 8 kids qualify for the semi-state. I'm getting there, buddy. Okay. 8 kids qualified for the semi-state, but we had one more pulled in today because a kid that placed ahead of him is out with an injury, so we get to slide in that spot. So we have 9 kids competing this weekend. Our 113-pounder Colton Plew, our 120-pounder Caleb Oliver, 32-pounder Mason Stanley. Lakin will be wrestling at 138. Our 145-pounder Lars Hughes, our 152-pounder as a freshman Diego Hernandez Reyes, our 170-pounder Andrew Ball, our 220 Jordan Cree, and then our 285 Azariah Warren, who's also a freshman.
Seeded? They're seeded right now?
Yes, so it's based on where you finish at your regional. So basically look at it as there's 4 quarter brackets in each bracket, so there's 16 guys total. A 1 seed, which will be the champ from a regional, will wrestle a 4 seed, so someone will play 4s from the other regional, and then the 2 versus the 3. And if you win your quarter bracket, you're a state qualifier. So you've got to win your first 2 matches. That second round we call the ticket round because it punches your ticket to the state finals, and that might be the most intense round or matches or event in all of high school sports. In my opinion.
So when you go
crazy.
on and lose,
6 minutes
you don't, right?
Yes, if you win that ticket round, you're a state qualifier. If you lose, your season's over.
What do you feel? What do you feel inside
during that round?
When you take the mat, yeah.
I've been able to experience it as a wrestler and a coach. As a wrestler, it's intense, but once you're on the mat, it's go time. As a coach, it's horrible. It is
because you can't do anything, right?
You have no control other than you're just kind of screaming over there, yelling, cheering on your guy. But
of course, everybody's screaming. And
oh, it's so stressful, so stressful. And as a, having relatives go through it too, whether it's Lakin or my brother, or cousin Ryan, I can't imagine what parents go through with it either. Like it's super intense, super crazy, and it's win or go home. So
all right, let's hear it, Lakin.
Not much to add, but I had the opportunity to go to state last year, obviously, and that ticket round, you can't hear anything. You got your headgear on. You're trying to listen to coach. It's a lot of noise, and you just got to find a way to settle in and get the job done. But
you get more adrenaline at that time?
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that and try to maintain, your senses?
You have to just kind of channel it and kind of use it a little bit, but you definitely have to make sure you don't get overwhelmed and just focus on what you're trying to do.
I think one of the good things we did this year was we kind of bumped up our schedule. We beefed it up a little bit to where we wrestle some pretty tough competition. We wrestle Warren Central, we wrestle Maryville, we wrestle LaPorte. So there's some pretty intense situations that we get into. And then we go to the team state duels. We got invited there again this year for the second year in a row. And that's a really tight, arena where there's a lot of fans right on top of you. So it's pretty loud, pretty intense. And so we get to about as close as we can to that semi-state environment with those things. And so I think we're a little bit prepared for those situations. I mean, it's not going to completely replicate it, but as close as we can get without being at the semi-state.
Do you wrestle as a Hoosier Conference also? Yeah,
the Hoosier Conference is really tough. Western is there, and Western actually won their semi-state a couple of years ago. They're really nasty. And then Hamilton Heights is a team that has really improved this year as well. They're really young, but they've got a lot of talent. I think they could have anywhere between 2, 4, 5 state qualifiers this year. I mean, they're really good, and they're only going to get better. So our conference prepares us well for it. It's another great tournament we have, especially seeing those 2 teams. But, we wrestle a lot of really tough matches, and I really like how our schedule is sort of transformed the last few years to where we get those tough matches throughout the season.
How many state qualifiers can Rensselaer get?
9.
9. There you go. I like that answer.
Now we'll see. I mean, we gotta go compete, take it one match at a time. There's upsets every year at the state finals, and that's why I told these guys, whether they're a 4 seed, whether they're a 1 seed, you gotta be ready to go because you don't want to be the guy gets sniped. But at the same time, there's gonna be somebody that day that wasn't supposed to lose that gets beat, and it'd be really nice to be on the winning side of that. So,
what's going to be the key for you wrestling well yourself this weekend?
Guess got to go all out there. It's my last year, and just got to put it all on the mat.
Well, I'm sure you'll do that. Guys, it's been a blast having you out here.
It's amazing what you've accomplished.
It is
already.
amazing. You guys ought to be proud of yourselves.
Appreciate it.
And for stamping yourself in the history book at Rensselaer, and keep doing it. And, Hunter, we can talk again when the season is finished, all right?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Hunter
Good
Hickman
luck next week.
and Lincoln Webb has been our guest, along with the other members of the wrestling team, the seniors. Back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Finding yourself in need of a quick repair or realize your home needs a good amount of updating? Who should I call? Call Make It Better Contracting for your solutions. They find time for new builds, remodels, and additions. Even when the roof leaks, your kitchen needs to be bigger, or you need another bathroom. Make It Better Contracting is your full-service contractor. If you own a project home that is in need of a lot of work, Make It Better Contracting is interested in purchasing your home. Call today at 219-863-0851. Together, we can make it better.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Back on the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com, live streaming on our website, and, of course, on our Facebook page at 3KG The Cage Community Broadcasting. Matt Sipkema from the North White Vikings boys basketball team has joined us. Matt, good to see you again. How you doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Been a while since we've talked. We had the weather wipe out last week, so what do you want to talk? How many games do you want to talk about?
We could talk whichever one you want. We played like 6 or 7 in the last 10 days, but no, I mean we'll go back obviously to the Carroll game, which was a couple Fridays ago, and
we got to talk about that.
We got to talk about Carroll. You know, it was they were 12-0. They're now currently like 14-1. We gave them their one loss. It was really exciting. You know, the boys were pumped up, ready to go.
That was like a college-type finish.
It was, well, you know, we talk about execution, and we go back to that last play, but there was a couple possessions before that where both teams had used timeouts, and, you know, we saw some things there that we thought we could exploit. And I think we drew a total of 3 plays up, and the boys just make me look good. I mean, they went out and executed the 3 plays, and when we needed to score, we got a score, and it was just an unbelievable game. In the last 4 years with Carroll, I mean, both teams have played really well, and they've been those types of games.
Okay, next. We got to talk about the finish.
Yeah, so the finish is, with about 38 seconds to go in the game, the score is 48-48, and we put Hunter Pogue at the foul line. They did, not on purpose with the entire game, but he shored in the front one, and I always get worried about that because the next one's usually hard, right? So I looked at my coach and I'm like, he's going to miss this one hard. And he's like, well, no, he's not. He's going to make it. So he misses it.
Missed two, huh?
Yeah, he goes down there, and then they have their best player, Skinner, who is 0 for 4 from the foul line at that point. And with 6 seconds left, we foul him. Questionable foul, but we foul him. And I'm like, what a way to, like, decide this type of game.
So he's shooting free throws.
He's shooting free throws. He misses the first one. And then he makes the second one, and we have 2 timeouts in our back pocket. So we take one, a full, and we have something set up for both a full court and a half court defense we might see. And then we see what they set up in. We use our last 30, and we're like, okay, they're going to come out in this again. I don't think they were going to switch it up in 30 seconds. And we got Hunter and we got Isaiah crossing down low in full court. They picked us up full court. And we ran Bentley off a baseline screen on the opposite side, so we could have Bentley and Hunter both on the same side of the court together. And Hunter, I mean, you just watch it. He gets the ball. They make their little loop. Him and Isaiah gets the ball, and the finish is impressive, but what most people don't realize, he's going 100 miles an hour up the sideline. He goes between his back, behind his legs, and Duff, who's just a phenomenal player, he falls. He makes him fall, and he puts a shot up as the buzzer's going off, and that gives Carroll their first loss of the game. And it was just amazing feel for Hunter, amazing feeling for the team. And the social media, they put some things out there because it's ankle breaker, and I think as the last time I heard, it was over 2 million views nationwide. So
unbelievable for
it was really cool.
Little old North White High
It was
School.
a couple of people were texting me. I was like, because you could see the map of Indiana, the football state championship bigger in the back, and they're like, is that North White Indiana? I'm like, yeah, that's that. So that was really cool. And then the next night, we come back and we play a very physical Rochester team, and you go to John Harrell, and John Harrell is usually pretty accurate with a lot of their scores. They really are. And we go out there and we're supposed to beat Rochester by 25, and we had just the boys late night Friday night, and we just preached about not mental and physical, about emotional. Come off your emotional high. I just said it about 1,000 times, and you can say it, right, and then you got to do it. So we spotted them 8-0, and we didn't even have. We were lucky to get the game back to 10-10 at the end of the first quarter, and after that, we got rolling a little bit with our press, and I think we were up just 4 or 5 at halftime, and we extended the lead up to 14 or 15 in the third. But then next thing you know, that's a 4 or 5 point game again. And so it was just big seesaw battle. And Bentley Bushman had a great game. I think he finished with 29 that game, but he played really well against Rochester. And we got the win. I mean, we didn't play that good, but at the end of the day, we were sitting there with 70 points on the board. So that was good. And then that was a Saturday night. So that was a Friday, Saturday, the last weekend of January. We moved Faith Christian up. So we played Faith on Monday. So we still haven't had a practice, and we played the previous Tuesday. So we were going on one practice in 2 weeks, and then we play Faith.
To the NBA.
Yeah, we play Faith, and we come out great. 17-6 at the end of the first. Played even in the second quarter, and really tweaked up our defenses a little bit coming out of halftime. And we like to do that out of dead balls, and really got after Faith in the third quarter and built a 20-point lead. I think we went them by 25. Which was cool about the Faith game is I think all 5, or not 5 starters, but we had 5 guys. Nate Miller, Bentley, Hunter, Jeff Stevens had a double-double at 10 points, 10 rebounds. And then Dane Hood is really coming off the bench as a sophomore and really spotting some big minutes for us. I think he had 10 points on just 3 or 4 shooting. But I thought Jeffrey Stevens, that was really his coming-out game. And, we really implemented – we don't play a lot of half court. You see that. We're not going to play a lot of half court. We're not going to. We are who we are. And you ask people what get ready for North White. Well, they're going to run at us and press us and make us go up and down, and we're not going to change who we are. And when we do get a half court, I really like the way Nate Miller has utilized the high-low action. Because, like I said, he was really a guard, and we changed him into a big. And now when Nate catches that ball on the 15, high post 15 feet out, I mean, he's just one quick dribble, he's at the rim, or a nice little 15-foot floater. He's really, really opened up the 3-point for Hunter, Bentley, and Isaiah. So, come back Tuesday, we have a one-day practice, and
there you go.
They were like, and it was kind of cool because the players would, they say, Coach, I'll say, are you guys tired? No, we're not tired. We're not tired. Yeah, you are. So we went through a layup line just to get our legs going a little bit, and they were like, Coach, we can't we can't do our layups right now, you know. And so we just did a really light. I kind of knew the snow was going to come. I think every coach did.
Right.
So a lot of coaches were doing a lot of conditioning. We were just taking our first day off in 4 or 5 days, you know. So we did some shooting, very light shooting. We didn't even. I think we were supposed to play Cass on that Thursday. And I'm like, we're not playing Caston. And we're not mentally right now. We're not ready. I don't think we're going to play in 2 days. This weather's going to be accurate. So we just shot for an hour and got out of there. So then we had to turn around, no school on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we had who we play Friday or Saturday?
North Newton.
And we went over there, and it was kind of different for both schools. Neither team had practiced all week, really. You know, we had a walkthrough for North Newton at like 10 in the morning before we went over to Morocco and play. So kind of an early start for us with a different feel. And our boys just – sometimes I think I was talking to Coach Adams over there at Twin Lakes last week, and sometimes we get asked questions like how are the legs going to be, how this going to be with a couple days off. And I think sometimes, you know, it's just they're not that – I mean, they are important issues, but at the same time, these kids are kids. They're 16, 17. They just want to go out and play basketball, if that makes sense. So was I a little concerned about not having practice for 3 or 4 days? Not really. Maybe not with the group, but we went out in North Newton and really close first quarter. Both teams kind of felt each other out. I was a little disappointed. I thought we had really played I think we had 4 turnovers in that first quarter, uncharacteristic of what we were doing, and I think it kept North Newton in the game. And then second quarter, I think we started out on a 10-0 run and kind of got it going with that, and our press really got to them. And we switched things up because I found out 2 minutes before we played North Newton that we were playing Casson on Monday. Now our boys didn't know that, but I did. So everything that we were going to put in for Casson, now we haven't practiced in a week, and now we got Casson on the back end that's going to, you know, sit in there. So we had to really think what we were going to do in the second half. Yes, it was about who we were playing, but what else I want to get done for Monday night without telling the boys that. So we put in a little 1-3-1 half court for the first time all year in the third and fourth quarter because
you knew you were going to use it Monday.
We were going to use. The goal was to have it there for Caston if we needed it, and not being able to prepare for that. But that game was, like I said, North Newton played a 2-3 zone. Not many teams 2-3 us, and I thought we were able to. And once again, Hunter, he was 9 for 10 shooting threes, the first 10 shots. But more importantly, I mean, he was getting so many, his teammates were finding him. Like, I can't tell you how many times Nate Miller just flashed the high post, and there was no one there. Nate just caught the ball. The top 2 guys turn and look at the ball, and then Hunter just slides down 3 or 4 feet and relocates and hits a 3. And so that was a big game for Hunter. I know he had 31 that game. Nate, I think he had 12 or 13. So
and he tied a school record, right?
He tied it, and you know that was the interesting thing. You know, we've had 4 or 5 games this year where we have been up big, and I don't play my boys in the fourth quarter but 2 or 3 minutes. And you know, sometimes my boys are like, "That ain't fair." You know, they want to play basketball, but I'm like, well, you know, it's what we are. So my manager had said to me, I heard him yell with like the 6-minute marks. You know, Hunter's got 9, and I'm like, well. I was like, well, I made a decision. I said, well, he's got 2 minutes to get the 10th one.
I think limit. Yeah, I like that.
Well, it was going to be 2.5 minutes, or it was going to be so many attempts. Yeah. And you go back, and I think Sam realized that he was there too, because that was the first time North Newton went man. They went man the last couple of minutes. So, you know, he didn't break the record. I think it was about 3.5, 4 to go. I had the bench in. I didn't want to. At that point, I said, you had your couple opportunities to get it. With the score of the game the way it was, I'm like, okay, now we're done, and we'll get them out. But Hunter Pogue is someone, and all my boys, all of them, I don't care, you know, they put work in. They put tons of work in. And for me, it was important to try to give him that opportunity to break that record. And it didn't happen, but he tied it. So.
And the big game Monday.
Yeah, the big game Monday, you know, Caston, I get over last year, and then you always got to mention it. But, you know, last year we had a great year. I mean, it's kind of being overshadowed by this year. But we still won 15 ball games last year, went 5-0 in the conference. And then it came down to, 5 seconds in the season. And, I'm sitting down at one end of the court with 5.9, and we're up by 1, and you're like, wow, visualizing what it's going to feel like when we win it, and then it just doesn't go our way. But you know, we bring everyone back. They bring everyone back, and we knew what it was going to be like. So I thought it was important we play Caston because I think we're currently 12-3. They were 12-4 going into that game. They just beaten Triton, who reached the regional finals last year and beat them in regionals and brought everyone back this year as well. So they just beat them the previous Saturday on the 5th. So we go over there, no real practice time. We had a quick walkthrough before we left the school, played at Caston, and we got out to a great start. We're up 11-2, 11-4, I think. And then Nate Miller, he had a great game. He was 4 for 4 from the floor, finished with 10 points. He got a ticky-tack foul it was a foul, you know, but it was a loose ball foul, and it took him out of the game. And then my substitution pattern is pretty similar to where I want to sub the guys at what time for different reasons, and it didn't allow us to do that. It didn't allow Hearn to get his break. It didn't allow Bentley to get his break. It really shortened our bench, and it was frustrating. And Caston was able to take control of the second quarter where they outscored us 11-6. They slowed it down, played their style, and we're going to the locker room 23-20. We're down by 3, and I'm just like, we got to get out. We got to get out and go. And they were trying. They just tired. So first few minutes of the third quarter, the Caston went on a little run. They actually got up 35-28. I thought our traps, you know, you play some teams that you get big leads on, and you do things you shouldn't do. Right, and we got to set solid traps. We can't jump. We can't let them split us. And they split us a few times. They found the open shooter. They buried the 3. And they got up by 7, and then our defense hunkered down, and we got 3 or 4 turnovers in a row, and we went on a 10-0 run. And it just was back and forth action. And then just like two teams that are good, that's what it's going to be in the fourth quarter. I think we're tied 47 or 45-45, and Bentley Bushman gets a layup for us, and that was his 1,000th point. He got it on the layup. It was awesome for Bentley to get his 1,000th point. That we stopped the clock. I went over to everybody congratulated Bentley, and I said, "Hey Bentley, the thing about him is he's the best defender we've had for 4 years." So I went over to him and I put my hand on his head and said, "Hey, congratulations, bud. You deserve it." I said, "But we need to go out and get one stop. We got to go out and get one stop." I mean, we did. The boys went out, and we got them to turn the ball over, and then they tried to press us a couple times, and that just resulted in an easy layup. So we walked away with a 60-57 win. We went in the locker room, and I told the boys, I think we were balanced scoring. I think Bentley had 17, Nate had 14, Jeff had 10, Hunter had 12, Dane Hood had, I don't know what he was at, 10. It was just nice scoring. But I went in the locker room and said, "It's done. It's over. It don't mean nothing. It just doesn't mean nothing. It's a win. Great. Win for our program. Great. Now we're getting back to work." So I think that's a long time, but I think that wrapped up about every game we did.
Everything pointing toward the sectional.
And that's what we've said from the first time I talked to you guys this year. You know, we're 1-0 in conference. We'll get more conference games this Friday, but it comes down to March. It's not putting pressure on anybody. It's coming down to March 5th. I mean, that's what our season. You know, the boys know this. We got put in the rankings in 1A this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we're currently sitting at number 8. It's a great feeling to have. It's a great exposure for the program. But it doesn't mean anything. I mean, enjoy it, but don't think about it. You know.
What's up next for the Vikes?
Well, we have Winamac tomorrow night, so I teased the boys, we had 2 days of practice this week.
Oh, man.
Back to back. So I was like, we're driving home. I'm driving the minibus home from Caston, and I said, "Hey, boys, I got some bad news for you." Like, "What, Coach?" I said, "You got 2 days of practice." So we went in yesterday, and we just did a lot of shooting. And then today was all about Winamac. I think they're 8-8. They're struggling a little bit. But I said, when you can struggle and be 500, that's not a bad thing. There might be a couple games on there, but they have a Russell Compton, a really good player, really savvy player who gets himself open, about 6'3", got a couple of strong kids inside. So they'll give us a nice challenge in different ways tomorrow night.
And what's up after that?
And then Friday is a makeup with South Newton. And I've said it before, I came home last night from watching our girls play, and they were playing Team from Illinois, Clifton Park or something. And so I watched them on the stream a little bit, and you all talk about Cruz and Salmons and whatnot, but I can't think of the boy's last name. Smart, yeah. I mean, he's been their second or third leading scorer the last 4 or 5 ball games at about 6'5", 6'6". Nice little lefty, nice touch. So, but we're going to come out, and both games are at home. If we can get South Newton on Friday, puts us 2-0 in the conference. Every team sitting there with a loss but us. So it's ours to lose.
We want to alert Viking fans. We're going to be over at North White next
Thursday, is it?
No, Friday. 18th.
Next
right?
Friday, the 18th, that'll be West Central. Yep. And real quick, if you don't mind,
Go right ahead.
I want to congratulate our North White Lady Viking.
How about that?
They played a masterful game against Caston last night. And
Hard fought itself.
It was, and they're supposed to be that way in a championship game, right? And we hosted the sectional, and the fans were tremendous. And Coach Heimlich and the girls, hats off to them. And they get to go over to Caston and play the regionals this Saturday.
And that's where Brian was tonight, so that's why he couldn't be here tonight. So we'll catch up with Brian next week. So, well, keep it going, all right?
That's the plan. Thank you.
All right. Matt Sipkema from the North White Vikings. Back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
For compassionate veterinary care, you can count on Rensselaer Pet Care. Dr. Jan Mallory and Dr. Nick Mallory are now seeing patients at their new facility located at 1370 St. Gaspar Drive North in Rensselaer behind Walmart. We treat your pet like a member of the family. From wellness exams and vaccines to complex surgical procedures, your dog or cat will receive high-quality care at our hospital. Boarding is also available. For more information or to check hours of operation, contact Rensselaer Pet Care at 219-866-4671.
Back on the Coach's Cage from Arnie's on National Pizza Day, and those wrestlers came in and
they took all the pizza.
They took all the pizza, didn't they?
They didn't leave any pizza.
I know it. I didn't count for them.
You should have upped that.
And then you being a cheapskate, you only bought one.
He's the one that did the order, not me. So
hey!
I only bought one pizza.
Well, you know,
I haven't ate all day long. After the day I've had,
I'll buy you one afterwards.
No, I'll forget it now.
No. Well, you know who this is. Wes Radke has joined us now, and boy, Wes, last night was memorable. I mean, that play. I've done a lot of games from Joe Burns Gymnasium, and Bill has too. Do you ever remember a crowd like that?
Not it jumping the way it was jumping. I mean, I've seen even bigger crowds. That was about as big as they get, but.
The atmosphere,
was
just amazing.
It was just, everybody was into it.
And your girls rose to the occasion. You ended up losing by 3, but my golly, that was a great effort.
Credit for as long as they had to come
to
get here. They brought a huge crowd, and they were into it. It was just so much fun to watch that game.
It was a fun game. I know it probably wasn't fun for you, but
no,
it was. Tell us about it. What are your thoughts now, a day after?
That's the second time we've faced South Central in sectionals. The one year was over at Hebron when they had a really good team that year with the Wolf Girl, and we came up short that game. I've had a lot of time to reflect on things today. I mean, everybody's trying to be nice to me and trying to tell me, hey, Coach, it was this and that, and it was a good place to be. But at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like, I got the job done for the girls in that situation where, we had them right where we wanted to be at. I watched the game 3 times last night when I got home.
You didn't sleep, huh?
No. I went to bed at 4 and got up at 5 and came to work. And it's no joke. I went to bed at 4 and got up at 5, and you replay it over and over and over again in your mind of what different things that I could have done to help these girls accomplish their goal. And the ball just bounced a few different ways their way instead of ours, and a few things here and there, and we're talking about a different conversation right now. And but there's one thing I won't fault is my girls. I truly believe gave everything they had.
Their defensive effort was amazing last night.
The challenge that I laid out before them with our game plan was not an easy challenge. What you saw out there was, and I'm not bragging on myself, but a mirror image of how I used to play. That intense, that physical, in your face. I'm not going to let you – I'm going to know what kind of bubble gum you're chewing. I'm not going to let you get a shot off. You're not going to screen me. I'm going to know every set, everything you're doing. And it was nice as a coach to sit back and watch what looks like you when I was out there playing.
You never sit. But.
Right, but it was just the mentality that these girls took on that, myself and Coach Van Meter and Coach Mans, that we're going to go back out there last night and take second place to, quote-unquote, the number 1 team in the state. I don't care who you are. You're going to get the best that we have to offer, and I thought the girls did a phenomenal job last night.
That South Central shot, what'd you say, 24% from the field?
Oh, somewhere in that.
Yeah, I had them. We had them actually at the end of the game. It was like 30% both teams. So when we were both just, it was like a mirror image of each other back and forth the entire game, and one wouldn't give, one wouldn't. You bend a little bit, but you don't break, and we just kept going back and forth. Now,
other than those 30 free throws.
Yeah, the glaring statistic on that is 30 free throws versus 8 free throws, and when you have a team like that, they're number 1 and they make free throws, and we shot 8 for 6. I mean, we made 8 out of 6 of the free throws, and that's just where the game for me came to a big factor is that point, because I truly believe we out-hustled them, outworked them, and it just came down to a few things and those free throws. But I am so proud and so ecstatic with what I finally got out of those girls, what I knew they had in them. I just wish it would have ended on better for them.
What was it like playing in front of a crowd like that?
That is so. One of the things that I've always wanted for these girls to do is experience that. When I was playing in high school, and I'm not trying to go back to eons back, but that's what basketball used to be like in the 90s, when the gyms used to be packed, when we played in Northwest Hoosier Conference with Rensselaer, with KV, with Lake Station, with River Forest, and you had those huge crowds come sectional time. And up to this point, the girls, the closest thing we came to that was the KV game. It was loud in that game.
Right. And
so to be able to experience that with them was one of my goals for them and their careers, and it was awesome. I tell you, I still get goosebumps. And I was talking to my principal today, Chad Wynn, and he said the same exact thing. He said, I had goosebumps sitting there with the amount of intensity that was in that gym. And you're right, South Central travels well. I've had to deal with them when I was at Oregon Davis. They were a rival then when they were 1A and we were 1A. It was always a competition with them, and they always brought a big crowd. And I knew they were going to bring a big crowd to Rensselaer, so it was going to be an electric atmosphere, and it lived up to all the hype, everything that I asked for the girls to experience. And again, we just the thing that would top it off, we would just been the ones celebrating at the end.
What a game for Taylor Van Meter! Holy smokes!
Yeah, she finally got some confidence in her shot. All year long, that was one of the biggest things that was really holding her back. I really felt, and she felt, and was that lack of confidence in that jump shot. If we could just get that jump shot and that confidence, she was going to make us that much better than what we already were, even when she wasn't shooting the ball well. So she just took it to another level to try to pick up where, Morgan was not available to us. And
playing with confidence, too.
Playing with confidence, playing with a fire, playing with, I call that freshman innocence, where she just goes out there and just plays. She's not worried about anything else other than just getting out there and play. And I really thought that she came in and helped carry that load. Jessie was starting to step up, and she was hitting those deep threes and keeping us in the game and keeping us right there the entire time. And Jessie had to guard 24 all night long, so that was
a wonderful job.
Yeah, that was going to be when you're the shooter and you need your legs to shoot and you're having to guard one of the better players, somebody else needs to help out. And that's what was nice about Taylor hitting those shots, is she was able to help Jessie out with that load because Morgan being out and not being available for us.
Coach, I'm going to go back to your defense effort there. I've never seen the girls they all seem to get it. We watched quite a few games from this year, and a lot of, it seemed like Rensselaer, boy, you guys would foul. You'd foul a lot. So you'd send the other team to the line a lot. You'd have girls in foul trouble. And that was reaching, a lot of reaching. You always see your gals, not last night. They played with their feet. How did you prep them there? Get them, ready to play that kind of an effort, team-wise, where there was no reaching.
I don't think all of our fouls are fouls all the time, though, is my thing. I think it's just they're in the wrong spot. It looks like it, but they're not fouling all the time. But, no, last night was – it was one of those things where typically we play some different defenses that you guys have seen. We put a full-court press on. We'll do some different things in the half court. Well, last night we decided, you know what, it's time for us to lock up somebody and do something different here and prove that we have the better athletes, the better players, and be able to use the God-given talent that we have and the stubbornness that Coach Radke puts inside of us to not give up those easy layups and those easy shots, and to play the fundamental defense that we try to instill in the girls every day in practice, that see your man, see the ball, stay between your man and the basket, don't reach, move your feet, play the defense the way you can in a defensive stance, and good things are going to happen. And I thought last night, you're right, a lot of them, all 5 of those girls, 6 of them, the majority of them that played, 7, bought into that. And, Avery Kane got stuck on Gail, who was averaging, I think, 14, 15 points a game and all kinds of three-point shots. And Avery does a phenomenal job on her, knowing where she's at. Frustrating. I mean, we had them frustrated.
Yeah.
They didn't know up from down.
Maybe nervous a little bit.
And again, they made some plays at the end, and you can say what you want, but my girls had them completely. They knew every set. They knew everything they tried to run. They just were one step ahead of them. It seemed like all night long, and it was just fun to watch.
Sure was.
At the end of the game, what were you trying to do, that last thing, to try and tie things up? What was that?
Well, we were trying to get a shot off, trying to get the ball in Jessie's hands or Taylor's hands. If we had enough time, get a quick 2, and then get a foul. But obviously we didn't get that because they put a little pressure on and got us a little confused, and we just didn't handle that situation very well to where we could get that shot off that we needed. And really tried to put our shooters in the best spots to get them a good look at it, to get that chance to put us in overtime. And unfortunately, they just keyed up on things and jumped at the right time, and we just didn't get the job done. And that's my fault. I'll take that blame. And you say, Coach, you cost your team the loss. We had things where we wanted them to go. It just didn't happen, and so we just got to get better at it. But I just wish we'd have got that shot off a little sooner.
Sure. So when that happens, it's the finale of losing your last game of the year. How do you handle that? Or have you yet?
Well, I really haven't.
Have the girls? Were they? Were there tears in the locker room?
Oh yeah, I mean you're talking about girls that have done phenomenal things, and they weren't ready for it to come to an end, and neither was I, and I'm still not, because this was a special group that were doing some miraculous things. You know, we lost 2 games. We would, you know, not knowing what we would have won them, but I would like to think we would have. We would have been 19-6 going into that championship game, and you know, these girls are just a special group of girls that I go into that locker room and we're just all kind of just sitting there like this can't be real.
Don't know what to do or say, do you?
I really don't. I mean, what can I say to them other than I was proud of them. I was hurting for them. I was upset for them. I was all the emotions and angers of looking at Morgan Van Meter couldn't even participate.
Yeah.
It's her senior year, and I'm
second leading scorer.
And I'm aggravated for her. I'm hurting for her, and I'm watching.
How did she take it?
She took it better than I would have. Strong kid.
Of all times.
Yeah, she handled it better than I did, better than I would have, and you know, Eric's in the locker room. He's, you know, it upsets him, and you know, they're a great family, and it just sometimes you just kind of scratch your head and think, what else? Why?
Unfortunately, you can tell when there's a serious injury, man. You could tell right away just by the way she reacted. I knew that wasn't good.
You know but you know what her comment was? I'm glad it happened to me and not to somebody else, not to her sister or anybody else, because
something to say,
absolutely. And like I said, it was hard. It is hard for her, and again, hard for her teammates. You know, we were all, you know, we're a family. One hurts, we all hurt, and not having her was a big part of what we were doing and what we needed. And somebody had to step up, and I thought that we did and handled things well. It just, you know, that locker room last night was not a pleasant place to be in, but a place that I didn't want to be anywhere else but with my team at that time, and proud of each one of those girls.
Just reflect on your season. Pretty good year.
Yeah. Coming into this season, this summer, we knew it was going to be something special because we didn't lose anybody. We came back with the same seniors, same juniors that were now seniors for us, and we had some incoming freshmen, and we knew this summer, after we got done doing our summer things, that we had something going here that we've been waiting for, honestly. Right. You know, when I took the job 6 years ago, they were 7th graders, and I went and watched them in the gym, and I was like, oh, all right, this is going to be good. And they worked their tails off for me, had a great, like I said, great summer. Started off the season, we played well, went through some ups and downs for trying to figure things out. You know, got and played in the J&C tournament. I thought we did really well there, held our own, let a few games slip there with the West Lafayette game, and then, you know, got to the conference play, and our conference just is tough. You know, every game we've lost, other than last night, the only 2A team that we've ever lost to in our schedule was last night, and these girls battled night in and night out. I saw them grow in every loss and every victory. I saw them getting better, and I knew we really had something special here, and I still believe that. I still believe in this team 1,000 times over. I told them if I had to pick a team to go to battle with, and anybody in the state right now, and I don't care if they're number 1 or 100, I want the team I have to do that with, and you know, we got to this championship game. This is a third one in our program history since I've been here, and I felt really good. Nervous, but felt really good going into this game that this was the time it was going to happen, because these girls were all in, and obviously it just didn't work out. And but it was a fun, exciting ride with these young ladies, and I can't, again, I keep saying this, but I can't thank them enough for what they did for me and my coaching and the program.
Always get a chance for you to talk to seniors. I don't know if you want to talk about it as a group or individually, but turn it over to you for that.
Well, I've got 6 of them, and I'm going to take the time to talk about each one of them. They deserve that.
Okay.
I know Coach Shepard's behind me here, but I think he'll forgive me a little bit if I take a little time for these girls. These young ladies have done a phenomenal job, like I said, for me, and I'm going to start off with Robin Philpott. Robin played JV for me. Beginning of the year, I sat down with her and was honest. Robin, this is where you're at, and you can either do this or you can do that. And she chose to play JV for us and be around us and be a part of what we're doing. And that takes somebody special.
A lot. Yeah,
that takes a special kind of kid. Call it crazy or nuts, because she had to go to every practice. She had to run just like everybody else did, but she was there, and she wanted to be a part of it. And Robin's going on to Evansville. She's been accepted there to go to school, so University of Evansville. So she's going to go down there, and looking forward to some great things she's going to do in the future. And I've really been blessed to have Robin in our program. The next one is going to be Kinsey Moore. Kinsey Moore has played all 4 years for me and played JV a couple years, and then really started to get into her own come her into her junior year and started almost every game, if I'm not mistaken, every game this year for me. The most undersized but the biggest hearted kid you ever meet in your life. If I could take her desire and her heart and put it in some of these other kids, at times it would be scary what we could get accomplished. And she's the epitome of what I ask my players to do. She's a team captain. She's a quiet leader. She leads by example, always running, always doing the things I asked her to do. Never complained. There was times she was outmatched in things in games, and we had to sub her out. She understood that. She just wanted to do what was ever best for the team. And she's a phenomenal athlete. As small as she is, she does a great thing. And I loved watching her get in there and battle with the big girls. And, I'll never forget when we were playing at Harrison, and she's in there with the 2 big 6-footers and giving them all they can handle. And she's fun to be around, a true blessing. And I'm really going to miss her. She's going to sign to play at Ancilla for softball. So she's got a great future ahead of her in that, and I'm so happy for her, and just, again, want to wish her the best of luck. The next one is Avery Kane. You don't get an Avery Kane every once in a while in your lifetime as far as the type of athlete that she is. She 11
rebounds last night. I had her for a point guard.
She exceeded my expectations in that aspect just alone. I thought, I knew we could get some things out of her when she was younger, but as I worked with her more and put more pressure on her and tried to get her to do more things and really come into doing the things I asked her to do, distribute the basketball, be a lockdown defender with her size and with her athleticism. Avery really at times even surprised me this year with the way she took on that responsibility of being a leader in rebounding, being a leader in the defensive stops, leading by example. She doesn't say too much. Sometimes she doesn't show too much emotion and things, but there was times when she didn't come out of that game for the entire game, and she's going as hard as she can for me. And again, I've been so blessed to have her on my team, so blessed to have her to be able to coach and to watch her and be able to just sometimes sit back and just smile as she plays the game and know that, it's easy as a coach when you have a player like that you can say, go get him, and she does that. So, again, just truly blessed to have Avery on my team, and looking forward to great things. She's got some decisions. I don't know if she's made up her mind where she's going to college at. She's been accepted at Butler. She's been accepted to, I believe, IUPUI and some different places. So she's going to have a choice to make there, but whatever choice she's going to make, I'm going to be supporting her and excited to see what she's going to do in the future. And I hope maybe someday she comes back. Her dad coaches for me, and maybe someday she'll come back and coach for me. And just really going to miss having her on the floor for us.
Okay.
The next one is Abby Ayler. Here's a young lady that really, and when she was a freshman, wasn't sure she wanted to even play. When my wife taught at Rensselaer there for a while, she called me in and said, "Hey, you got to talk to Ayler here. She's acting like she don't want to play in her freshman year." And so we had to go have a little talk with her about things and have a little powwow with her. And she's just like one of my own kids. I absolutely adore her. I absolutely love being around her. She has that ability to make you just excited about being in the same area that she's at. And, she handled herself well this year. She had some confidence, and she, again, had to battle always against the bigger girls. She was our big girl. She was our force inside, and she did some nice things this year. I was so proud of her and where she came from as a freshman all the way up into her senior year. And she just did some really great things, and I'm really going to miss her.
Got a job last night. She 6-footer.
She had a battle inside. That girl was physical, and Abby held her own. And she's going to IU, which really makes me happy. She's going to go to IU and do some great things there, and always going to have that special place in my heart for just her ability to challenge me as a coach, to always do some great things. And she always had the prayer for us this year. Before every game we go out, and she'd have a prayer written out for us to bow our heads to before we take the floor. And she took that initiative on herself. I didn't, ask her to do it. She said, "Coach, I want to do this." And she did it for us every game, and I'm just so happy and so proud to be her coach. Next one, obviously, is Morgan Van Meter. She's played varsity for me for 4 years. When I got her as a freshman, man, you talk about a kid that is hard-headed. You talk about a kid that is amped up and ready to fight, ready to go to battle. I mean, this kid hates to lose maybe about as much as I do. She improved from the time as a freshman. I knew she was something special. She could do some great things. She has phenomenal basketball knowledge. She's not the quickest kid on the floor, but she's going to learn and get to the places you need to get to. And she challenged me as a coach. I got some gray hair and some aggravation at times when her and I would butt heads, but I love that kid. She would do anything I'd ask, and then some. And sometimes I'd have to put her down and say, "You got to stop talking and sit down." Even her dad was like, "Wes, you just got to let her go." And she was just so fun to watch, so fun to be with, so fun to listen to at times, and her explanations of things and her confidence coming in the last couple games of shooting the basketball. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And unfortunately, it came to an end in that Winamac game, and I just, again, my heart goes out to her.
How is she? I mean, physically, is she gonna?
She's got an MRI, I think, on Friday.
Okay.
Just to see exactly what's going on. She's getting around. She's so stubborn. She wouldn't use the crutches. I'm not using those things. So she's going to do. She got accepted to Purdue. The kid, and I'll talk a little bit more, but the kid is incredible in the classroom. She is the top of her class, 4.0, maybe even higher than a 4.0 if that's possible, and just doing phenomenal things in life she's going to do. But practice is going to be different without her in there. she brought the toughness.
Sure.
She brought that toughness that I needed at times, and didn't back down from anybody or anyone, including me at times. And you know, she was a true blessing to have. And last but not least,
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, this is the last one, and then I'll be done, because I don't know if I can talk much more about them, because they are. This is one of the hardest. You guys have been around me for 6 years. This is the hardest day for me right here.
Yep.
Talking about these girls, but this last girl, Jessie Ringen,
all-time leading scorer.
All time.
1,257
total points.
That may be hard to beat.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
She was one that I could tell there was something different about her, and I've been around some good players, and she's one of those players that I've been around that something special. And
quick shot, man, she gets that shot off in her hurry.
She worked at it.
I was gonna say, I can remember her freshman year. Boy, it was like, whoa. She's a good player.
And it is. It's going to be tough, because I've had her for 4 years, and it's going to be tough to not have her anymore. And
can't slip in like those college rules where you get another year.
No, I wish. Believe me, I wish there'd be a lot of slipping back and forth in there.
Extra
but
COVID years for all of them.
Yeah, that's right.
This year in particular, just talking with other coaches and college coaches and people watching her, that her game has hit another level of. She's went from being just a scorer to a facilitator to a leader of a team to doing everything, rebounding, stealing, passing, doing all that stuff. And there's not enough words I could say about the kid. You guys have seen her play. It speaks for itself. And all-time career, I've never had that in my coaching experience, that a kid breaks the all-time scoring record. And she set the bar really high. She set the bar really high for these girls coming up. And it was funny because, I teach elementary, and I got little girls coming up to me saying, I want to be a Jessie Ringen.
You got to score quite a. Even as a freshman, you got to score a lot of points, right?
And I tell them, little girl, I said, you got to spend a lot of time in the gym with Coach Radke then. And not that, Jessie spent a lot of time on her own doing things and doing that and playing basketball and just having a love and a passion for it. So, it was just a fun ride with her as a leader and just watching her progress over the years.
What's she going to do?
She hasn't decided yet. She hasn't decided yet. She's got some decisions she's got to make, and as to what she wants to do yet. And I don't know if she's going to play tennis this spring still, but she plays. She does volleyball, basketball, and tennis. And again, just a great athlete, a true blessing to me. I know we didn't win, but the Lord's blessed me really good with these 6 seniors, and I've said this in the past about my other seniors, but these seniors will always have a place at my house, at my table. No matter what time of the night, no matter what time of the day, this old coach will be there for them. And so, those girls are a phenomenal group.
I'm talking with the Bomber coach, Wes Radke. Wes, you've got a few players that have varsity experience coming back. So what's the future look like?
We're coming back loaded again. We've got young players. We've got a good sophomore class, and my daughter, Cadence Manns, Bailey Radke, Cadence Manns, Sarah Kaufman, Addie Hensler. Those 4 sophomores played a lot of JV, some varsity minutes. They put the time and effort in practice against these seniors, so they know what it takes. We got 2 juniors coming back, and Macy Kellner and Lola Chanmus. Both of them work hard and are great leaders. And then you got, again, Taylor Van Meter coming back, Jesse Fleming, who played some varsity minutes for me. You all saw Carly Drone that I threw in there and did some great things.
She more than held her
yeah.
own.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And some of them looked at me like I was kind of nuts, but sometimes when you put a freshman in that situation, you might get surprised, and she fulfilled all those promises and did some great things. And Brooke Keipke coming back, and she played an integral role on the JV and sometime in the varsity. They all dressed at some point in time for me.
Are you going to have to develop a point guard?
Well,
or do you have that set already?
I think between Fleming and Van Meter, they can handle the load. Jessie Fleming does a really nice. She played point guard for us, at the JV level, and Cadence Mans is somebody else that we've told you're going to have to handle the ball, and Bailey, when Bailey gets set, she can put the ball in the hole and fire it up there, just as quick, and if not quicker, some of the other shooters we've had in the past. So we've got the tools there. It's going to take some time this summer to try to put those things together, and we got some incoming freshmen and eighth graders that are doing a real nice job right now playing in the lower levels that we think can help us definitely at the varsity level, and we're going to put it all together here and this summer and really tune it up, and fellas, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people with what we're going to be able to do here in the 2022-2023 season, and I'm excited. If they would allow me to get in the gym today, I would have done that right now. The girls probably wouldn't like that, but this old guy's ready to get back at it because I'm hungry and I'm not sleeping anyway, so might as well work.
You got to have people to take bigger roles next year, right? Than what?
Oh,
they
absolutely.
Did this year.
I mean, 1,257 points are going out the door.
Yes, they are.
And Morgan's totals, around 800. They're going right out the door, and then you go down the line with those other seniors. Avery's point guard ability and rebounding, Abby Ayler's rebounding ability and their defense and Kinsey Moore's leadership, it all just goes out. Somebody's got to step up and take over and fill those shoes. So we've got a nice young group coming back with two good, strong seniors and Macy Kellner and Lola Chamness that are going to do a really good job helping us lead and mature these girls because they've been around now long enough to help with this and looking forward to some great things.
Talking with Wes Radke, Rensselaer Central girls coach. Wes, always give you time to talk about whatever you want to talk about, so take it away.
Really, I just wish I had last night to do over. Basically, that's really all I can. I mean,
go to 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I wish they would go playoff style. Yeah, that'd be great. It seems like they let all these other sports go 5 or 6 times. Why not let us? I want to thank my coaching staff all the way from the lower levels to my legacy coaches all the way up to Amanda and Eric. Those two have been with me since day one, and they do anything and everything I ask them to do for the program. And again, none of it's for me; it's for these girls. And those two are phenomenal assistant coaches. And heck, Eric could probably be a head coach somewhere if he wanted to be there. But he does a great job for me. And again, Amanda does anything I ask her to do and does a great job. And those two switched roles this year. One went from being the assistant to one, Eric went to being the JV coach, and Amanda now became the assistant for both of us. So, they just handled themselves so well and so professionally, and I thank them for that. And, the administration at Rensselaer, the school board, just to have the confidence in a guy like me to do what we did last night is greatly appreciated. So I thank them and the parents and the community. They're just, it was awesome this year. We had people step up and help supplies with uniforms and basketballs and food and whatever the girls needed, whatever we had to do, they helped us with it and just a great community and a great place to be and I just thank everybody out there for that support and want to thank my wife. I can't do any of this unless the boss says I can, and I joke with that, but she's so supportive. She's got a lot on her plate with being a principal and trying to run a school, but if you watch my games, she's the one that's cheering the loudest, and she didn't sleep last night either. Her and I both were up because she was wanting it so bad for these girls. So I want to thank her, and obviously my daughters, Brooklyn and Bianca and Sydney Van Meter, all my assistants as well on the bench. They came back. They want to be a part of it. They want to help. They want to help these girls get to their goals. So those three did a phenomenal job for me as well on the bench. And, again, just my family in general and obviously the girls, my team of 17 young ladies that gave me a ride of a lifetime as far as a coach, and something I'll never forget. And it's a season that we can build off of and let generations to know to come that this is what's expected out of you. And so we're just excited. And last but not least, the good Lord, because without him, none of this is possible. And I know that. I'm just humbled by what I saw last night in those stands, what I saw behind my bench and those young ladies that play for me. And I just really am humbled and just want to thank everybody and, again, the administration and just that's about it. I mean, I can go on forever and ever and ever, but I don't want to do that.
Well, West Rensselaer is lucky to have you.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a outstanding group of coaches in all of our school districts. But, man, what you've done with this girls program it's so much fun. It's fun to come and watch the way your girls play.
Yeah, and we're not done yet. One of these days, I promise you, we're going to get this. One of these days, we're going to get over this hump, and we're going to bring a sectional title to Rensselaer. And when we do, it's going to be a fun time. But we're going to go back to work here, and we're going to get better, and we're going to put all the pieces back, and we're going to be back there again.
Wes, thanks for coming each week.
Thanks, fellas.
And coming to our show and promoting our show on what we do, and we appreciate it. And have a good offseason.
Yeah,
okay?
Thank you, fellas. And if you see me on the baseball diamond, I'll be wearing the umpire gear, and I'll be throwing you out of the game.
All right, beautiful. Wes Radke has been our guest. Back with Bill Shepard from Kankakee Valley right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
On the Coach's Cage from Arnie's on National Pizza Day. Come on out and join us here at Arnie's. And joining us now is Bill Shepard, the coach of the Kankakee Valley Cougars. Bill, good to see you again. Weather got the best of us last week, but how you doing?
Pretty good, hanging in there.
All right. Well, how many games do we have to talk about since we last chatted?
Actually, 3.
3.
Yeah.
Well, take it away.
About a week and a half ago, we were at Highland on a Friday night for a conference game up there. Did fairly well. Kind of sluggish in the first half a little bit, but we wound up going into halftime up 21-15, and playing okay, but like I said, just a little bit sluggish on the offensive end. And then really turned it up in the third quarter. Outscored them 10-0 in the third quarter. Defense was really good there, and wound up winning the game 49-29, so kept extending the lead in the fourth quarter some as well. We actually held them scoreless from 5 minutes left in the second quarter all the way to 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We held them on 15 that whole time.
That's a good defense.
Yeah, that week was a defensive intensive week, and obviously it worked pretty well. We just really worked on the finer points of defense that week. And going into sectionals, I thought, we got enough guys that can put the ball in the basket, and we got enough guys that can score. And I just thought, we got to get our defense shored up a little bit. Not that it was bad, but it just wasn't. We were making mistakes that we can't be making. And so we made a few adjustments, started shoring up some things, and started working towards some things that I think we're going to have to use in sectional time too. So just kind of got them focused on that end. And as you can see, giving up 29 points. That's a pretty good night against anybody, especially a 4A conference opponent. So that was a good game for us. We did not have anybody in double figures that night, believe it or not.
Man.
But we had 3 guys with 8 and two guys with 7. So, it was, bang, 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 bang. It was still just across the board. We had Cam Webster, Hayden Days, and Nick Mikosh all with 8, and Luke Andre and Will Sampson with 7. So, it was just another one of those pretty balanced efforts. When you score 49 and you got 8, 7, 7, that's still pretty balanced. That's a pretty good night. Like I said, especially the second half, I was just happy with the way we played defense because since we focused on it all week, I was happy we came out and performed pretty well.
Did the kids take notice of that and say, hey, look at what you guys did in practice. Now look at the scoreboard.
Well, I don't know if they do, but we make sure they do. I don't know if they do on their own or not. But we obviously bring it up, and we bring it up. When you hold somebody under 30, you're doing a pretty good job.
Yes.
So it's not that we hold the ball or anything, and we were just sticking to our principles, and we got enough kids that they're smart enough they can do those kinds of things. Just sometimes I said we got comfortable. And I'll talk more about that after the next game because I think that's the first time I actually saw it. I just think we were getting comfortable on both ends of the court, and we can't be that way if we're going to win a sectional. So, very next night we had Portage come into town. We were trying to alleviate a loss from earlier in the year. We lost to Portage in the Highland Holiday Tournament, 50-42. One of those games where we started off pretty well. We were up 16-13 at the end of the first quarter, and then we just went basically ice cold. We could not hit the broadside of the barn for most of the rest of the game. We were down 24-23 at half, so we were still hanging around. Our defense was basically keeping us in it, to be quite honest about it. And then we shot 11% in the second half.
Oh, whoa.
11%, and
that's not many baskets, then, is it?
No, I don't know if I ever had a team shoot that poorly in half. It was just one of those, and we were getting looks, and just nothing was falling, and we were still hanging around. We were down 14 at the end of 40-26. But we would cut it back to 8 or something like that. But we wound up losing 51-36. And I told the kids after the game, our defense, we still hold Portage to 50 basically. You're doing fine there. The defense was fine. The offense was, just atrocious that night, and it wasn't so much what we were doing as we couldn't shoot it all. But, when I did stats, we didn't have that many turnovers. I think our turnovers were only like 12 for the game, so it wasn't like we were throwing the ball away or anything like that. Just one of those nights that everybody was off. We did have 2 double-figure scores that night. Nick Mikosh and actually our junior point guard, Colton Pribble, had 12. He's slowly coming on to be one of those maybe a little bit of X factors as the season, somebody that won't get any press and somebody that won't be on anybody's scouting report, but just is seeming to come along now and starting to play a little bit. So that's good for us, But after this game, I kind of sat down and watched the film because I said to myself, something's going on. Just something is, ever since like the Munster game, just something has not been quite correct. So I watched a couple films and it just looked like we were, like I said earlier, like we were just comfortable. We were just playing comfortable. Don't push us around too much. Don't make us do a whole lot. Just if we're gonna win by 15, cool. If we're not, well, we're not gonna really step it up to. It just didn't look like we were competing at a level that we needed to compete at. We were just wanting to stay in a nice, easy comfort zone, and that allowed me to come back and practice after Portage. Even though it was snowing, going to snow that week, I made sure Monday and Tuesday were not fun. And we came back on Monday and Tuesday, and we really, really, really worked them really hard and got after it big time. I'm sure they enjoyed it a lot. But, I told the kids, listen, you guys are just coasting right now. I said, we have got to get better. And to their credit, they buckled down. They really worked hard in a couple of days. Of course, we had the 2 snow days that we didn't practice Wednesday and Thursday, but they allowed us back on Friday.
So you noticed that in your film?
Yes.
Yeah,
You can just tell by just I don't want to say the attitudes, because it wasn't the attitudes, but the body language of the players as they were playing. It wasn't a negative body language or anything, but it wasn't.
Well, the cruising.
It wasn't the intensity
that you need,
that you're looking for, and it was just one of those, you're kind of pushing me a little bit, so I guess I'm not going to be open coming off the screen. Well, no, you have to get open. That's a determination, that's an intensity, I'm going to do it, even though it's a little uncomfortable, and so we really, really pushed them hard, and like I said, we came back Friday, and even though we played LaPorte on Saturday, we pushed them hard again on Friday. It's like, listen, we have to get going, and we came back against LaPorte on Saturday and probably had our best game of the, as far as wins go, our best game of the year. Came out against the Duneland Conference School, a 4A school that was 9-7 coming in. And as they were pretty good as well. LaPorte's got a lot of height, a lot of athletes, and we played pretty well. We were up 13-9 at the end of the first. Extended it kept it at 4 points, 27-23 going into halftime. So we just kind of, keeping the lead that we needed. Had a really good third quarter. Actually got up 42-26 at one point in the third, early in the third. Came out and played really good, moved the ball really well offensively, really carving it up pretty well. Wound up being ahead 45-33 at the end of the third. And then the first 4 minutes of the fourth, LaPorte goes on a 14-2 run.
Oh.
And ties it up at 47.
Wow.
And for the last 4 minutes of the game, neither team scores. It was just one of those where miss, turnover, miss.
Must have been missed free throws, too, in there.
Yeah, nobody scored for the last 4 minutes of regulation, so we went into overtime tied at 47. And literally, like the 5 seconds into overtime, we hit a three. And makes it 50-47, and then just kind of locked down defensively, wound up winning 52-50. LaPorte did miss like a 25-26 footer at the buzzer for the win, but it was it was kind of more of a desperation type shot. Even though it was closer, it was more of kind of a desperation type shot. And the kids were really fired up about the win, which good. And once again, we give up 50 points in an overtime game, And I told the kids after that game that when we won the sectional in 2008. We played a Saturday afternoon game on girls sectional Saturday against Gary Word. And I remember walking out of that game saying, even though Calumet's going to be the favorite, I got a team that can do it. I just saw the way we had played, against a pretty good team. And I told the kids walking out of the LaPorte game, I had the feeling on defense. Ever since the Highland game, our defense has been at a pretty championship level, I think. The one thing that this team right now is missing is the ability to, we're up 12 going to the fourth quarter, this game's over. Just knowing we will take these shots and these shots only, and you're not going to catch up to us because of it. I said that 08 team, if we were up 6 points, I said I could go sit down. I mean, it was over, because we were going to get an inside shot, and they knew it, and that's what we were going to get. And you're not catching up to us. I said, we're taking threes and one pass fadeaways, and I'm like, you're up 12. Relax, but so we worked on that all week so far this week. We worked on that. There's come a point in practice every day this week where I put 8 minutes up on the clock, 45-33. And we would play against the JV. I'm like, okay, let's play this out. You guys know what shots you're supposed to get. You know where you're supposed to go with the basketball. It might take us a minute, but we're going to go there. And this team's not catching up to us. It's just living through that and getting used to what you got to do to win those baskets. In sectional time, we're going to face a team where we might be up 6 to 4 minutes to go, and you need to finish that game without having to worry about going into overtime. You know, you need to make sure you get the shot you want. So, I mean, that's something good for us to learn from, especially getting a win out of it, you know. So, we, once again, because we scored 52, we didn't have a whole lot of people in double figures. We did have 2, but it was like we had Luke Andre with 13, Will Sampson with 10, and then it was Nick Mikosh and Hayden Naves with 8 and 8, and Cam Webster with 7, and Colton Preble with 6. So, you know, still kind of balanced on the scoring end of it. I got to mention Luke Andre again, too. They're the point guard for LaPorte, awesome player. He's only a sophomore, by the way, but awesome player. Luke Andre him as an assignment, did great. Really held him in check, did a great job. Actually, it held him to 2 points in the second half in overtime.
Wow.
So, I mean, credit to Luke. Luke did a great job there. So we're happy with that. Now we get to move on and see what this week brings.
Is he one of the better defenders on your squad?
He'll normally get the toughest perimeter assignment. So yeah, I mean, and Nick Mikosh will typically get the toughest post-ish assignment. You know, whether it's a post or a bigger forward. So I mean, those two guys typically get the toughest assignments, and we kind of match up off of that.
Well, a game tomorrow night you can watch right here on 3KGthecage.com. It's a makeup game, Twin Lakes at KV, and tell us about that.
Twin Lakes is an interesting team because they're so up and down. Just depends on what night you catch them. You know, I mean, one night they'll lose to a team, and you take their Benton Central game for example this year. They played Benton Central twice, and one time they beat them by 20-some, and the other time they lost by 8. It's one of those where you never know what you're going to catch with Twin Lakes. I will say their last game out was Monday night at Mechanicaw, who was 11-2. And a pretty solid team, and Twin Lakes went in there and beat them by 2. So they're playing good right now, and we watched some film on them tonight after our practice, and it was just one of those situations where we told the kids, listen, I mean, this is a good, hardworking, sneaky type ball club that if you're not alert, they're gonna catch up on you, and even if you are alert, they can't. It's just one of those teams where you cannot be saying, we beat LaPorte, so this is, like LaPorte beat Twin Lakes in the holiday tournament by almost 30. We beat LaPorte and they beat them by 30, so whatever,
Can't do that, can you?
It is not with this Twin Lakes team. There's not a whole lot of, they're going to do this tonight. Just because you've seen them all over the map with everything, and just, we got to come and play our game, be ready to play. Keep the defense where it's at and get better at that. And, hopefully, if we're up 8 or 10 in the fourth quarter, we finish it out a little bit better. We show that we've learned some things and hopefully get a big win for us here. We got 12 wins so far, and, that's a good year in itself, but we got a lot more in us, I hope so.
What's after that then?
Friday night we traveled to Hebron. So obviously have a short road trip for us there, traveling up to Hebron, but, a rival game. And that Hebron's one of those teams that's kind of up and down too. We are just talking to coaches back here a little bit about Hebron. They'll come out and lose to Couch, who Couch is decent, but they're an average Couch team this year, and then they'll beat Rensselaer. It's like what's going on? So we just got to make sure we're on cue for what we got to do, and we should be okay for the weekend. But it's just a situation where we can't coast, we can't be comfortable. We have to keep going.
Bill, thanks for coming down, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Okay?
Yep, we'll be there.
All right. Bill Shepard from the Kankakee Valley Cougars will have their game tomorrow night against Twin Lakes, and that'll be about a 6:15 pregame show or thereabouts. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KGthecage.com after this.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Finding yourself in need of a quick repair or realize your home needs a good amount of updating? Who should I call? Call Make It Better Contracting for your solutions. They find time for new builds, remodels, and additions. Even when the roof leaks, your kitchen needs to be bigger, or you need another bathroom. Make It Better Contracting is your full-service contractor. If you own a project home that is in need of a lot of work, Make It Better Contracting is interested in purchasing your home. Call today at 219-863-0851. Together, we can make it better.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics. Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, Ref!
That's simple human sense.
The Conrad Agency in Fowler and Brook. Call 765-884-0530.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, Preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Back on the Coach's Cage on National Pizza Day from Arnie's. I want to thank Beth and the gang here for providing the food and drinks for the coaches and us people from 3KG working as well. And I want to take a little bit of time here. Well, I got a minute to talk about the girls basketball regionals coming up on Saturday. Got a couple teams in our area that are still involved in the Class A regional at Caston. First of all, I want to congratulate Brian Heimlich and the North White Lady Vikings for a hard-fought 44-35 victory over Caston last night to win the North White sectional. They'll be at Caston and playing the first game on Saturday. It'll be Couts 20-6 taking on North White 18-6. And then game 2, it's Fort Wayne Blackhawk 18-7 against Argus 16-8.
Fort Wayne Blackhawk always seems to be there, don't they?
Boys and girls, doesn't matter, does
yeah.
it? Speaking of a team that's always there, Benton Central, you don't get any better than what the Lady Bison are rolling out right now, do you?
I'm telling you what, leave it to good coaching to carry you far into
David Baxter is amazing coach.
He really is.
The Lady Bison cruised through their West Lafayette sectional, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
So they'll be playing in the Class 3A regional at Belmont. And I think they won 5 straight sectionals, if I remember George Hardebeck's post that they won 5 in a row. So
I couldn't tell you.
And they're what every team strives to be. I'm telling you, Benton Central is. Benton Central comes in with a record of 26-1. They'll take on Belmont 17-8 in game 2. First game there is Hamilton Heights 18-5 against Garrett 25-1. So there's some stiff competition there for sure. And what else we got? Where's Central Catholic? They're somewhere, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Central Catholic 21-4 plays Blue River 24-2. That's at Westdell. And what other one did I see that was in our area? Carroll of Flora is at the Frankton Regional. Carroll of Flora is 18-7. Frankton is 20-5. Clinton Prairie 18-7 takes on Winchester 23-1. There are a lot of good teams in the girls' tournament still. And
generally don't get this far being a upset, coming in with a bad record on that second day of
second round.
Yeah.
And at Winnemac, Class 2A, it's East Side 16-9 taking on Fairfield 22-3 in the first game. And then the second game is Andrean 20-6 against South Central Union Mills 26-0. So girls sectionals are complete now. And
did you read off our
upcoming? I haven't got there. So.
Let me I can roll through this real quick, Bob. What we've got here in the month of February yet starts again with the makeup game tomorrow night at Kankakee Valley as Twin Lakes comes a calling, and then on Friday night, we're back in action. They head down south, down 231 here, and BC at TC, Benton Central at Tri-County. Then next week, it's Tuesday, and that'll be a big one. We didn't talk too much about Billy Shepard. We should have maybe touched base. Maybe we can talk with Chad Pulver a little bit about that.
Battle to Jasper County.
Yeah, KV at RC. Looking forward to that one. Kind of threw me off this year. It was always at the start of the season.
Right.
And they moved it now into the middle part of the season, or later part, for the boys, actually. And that's on Tuesday, February 15th. Kankakee Valley at Rensselaer Central. Then on the 18th, that's next Thursday? Friday, West Central at North White.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back for the fun game in that gymnasium, our favorites. And then February 19th, Saturday, is North Newton at South Newton, the battle for Newton County.
All the rivalry games are coming here at the end
yes,
now, aren't they?
Yep. And then one last makeup game. And we talked to Mark Rettencord. That's bumped down, so now this one becomes our that North Newton, South Newton was supposed to have been our last game, but we'll now have one the following Tuesday, February 22nd, back to Tri-County again, North Newton at Tri-County.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's ends up being a busy couple of weeks here to finish this up for February, and then the draw, and we get to do it all again.
February 20th, yeah.
Yeah, all over again.
There's a lot of good choices for sectionals. Wrestlers over at Winnemac, Kankakee Valley hosting their own, Tri-County hosting their own, so we got a lot to choose from and pick from, and maybe we'll have more than one team that
see where they
advance.
See where they line up with that draw, and maybe which team is the hottest coming in. It'll be nice to have a little bit of choice coming in.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here. That's going to do it, all right?
All right.
Long night, but good to have the wrestlers in.
Oh,
They're
man.
doing great. So
most fun question for me was what goes through their minds when they, they're ready to step out into that mat, into the ring, whatever you want to call it, for the second round, when if you win, you make it into the state championship.
Yeah.
Boy, that just... Can you imagine the pressure on you?
It must be thrilling.
Yeah, it really must be. So.
And wrestling 6 minutes is hard. Oh,
I bet.
You say 6 minutes. Well, no, that's hard. That's one-on-one.
Yeah.
From the very start, you don't get a break or you don't get a timeout or anything like that. You get
there's 3 2-minute
2-minute periods.
Periods,
I think,
yeah.
Anyway.
But I bet those 2 minutes for the wrestler probably seem like 12.
Yeah, and it's a wild night, that's for sure. Okay, we got to wrap things up. Scotty Miller, thank you very much. Bill, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow night. It's Kankakee Valley hosting Twin Lakes, 6:15 pregame. Thanks to sponsors. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.